There's a song about that, actually.
Hello everybody out there in the internet, welcome to Aimless Z episode 368. I'm Chris Adams, the Tech Master, joined by...
RPG Maniac 05.
And Trioptical.
So yeah, we've got so much been playing. Middle segment is about...
Well, for now, it's Tropical. He's about to risk his soul.
What are you talking about?
Well, he might be Mario next week.
Oh yeah, the hat thing. But yeah. So yeah, we've got what you've been playing. We've got...
I will be Cappied.
Basically.
Captured by Cappy. What you've been playing, middle segment is Nintendo and their E3 one game policy that they've instated, and it's like, oh, we got this thing that's gonna blow everybody's socks off, and we're gonna be like, what's it gonna be next year? What could it be? What's their anchor game? Because it seems like, you know, they got the two. I mean, they got like the one game that's like the big thingy, and then they got the thingy that's like, oh, this other thingy, and it's like the two thingies, har har har. And so, you know, Zelda and Mario have been like, you know, the launch of Switch, blah blah blah. But we're going to be like, well, what's it going to be next year? And we'll get to that in the middle segment. And then we've got a new story, and then maybe some doing it live action in the new segment.
Ooh, Bowchicka Wow on indeed.
Alright, which been playing. So.
But you said it. I mean, I was just going off what I heard.
I forgot to mention last week, I was playing some Zone of the Enders. I did finish the first one, so I did that, but I hadn't started the second one. But I did start the second one, and then I was playing on normal. It's harder than usual, or harder than easy, because the first time I played Zone of the Enders 2, I was like, easy mode, dude. And then I put on normal this time, and I was like, whoa, dude, that's way more intense than I thought it would be. Please rush it down. But I haven't gone back to finish that up, so soon, internets, you'll be able to enjoy that lovely deliciousness that we'll never have thanks to Konami on my YouTube channel. But until then, keep posted to the bat channel with the bat signal and the bat time and stuff, all the bat stuff.
I love bats. They're delicious.
So you've eaten a bat? Is that what you're saying?
Don't judge me. You don't know my life.
How did it taste, RPG?
It tasted like success.
And then, yeah, Vita. Final Fantasy VIII. I'm at the final dungeon. Yes, Ultimisia, you will be meeting your doom. I'm gonna take it down finally. So I finally got fire this time than I did last time. Because last time I got the final boss, or not the final boss, final dungeon. I was like, whoa, dude, there's so many sub bosses, and like they proceeded to direct my face off. This time I went in and I was like, all right, smartphone, what's the play? And I looked it up. I was like, all right, IGN guides, thank you so much. And it's like, oh, apparently all your abilities are sold, and you have to beat the sub-bosses one by one to unlock them. And it was like, here's the order, Tekken, run the play. And I was like, yeah, blue for two, hot. Yeah, we're doing it. And so, let's see.
Although, I mean, you should be able to choose your own order, because just in case of who you want, kind of thing.
Not taking any chances, RPG. I've been trying to like finish this game and see it through the ink. People say the ending is so amazing. I've been denying myself watching on YouTube.
It's really not.
For like over 10 years or something. So it's been a long time.
And also, the final boss fight is random party members. By the way, just a warning.
Oh wait, actually, I think that happened. Cause I like the first time through, I was like, "F this crap," and I just like ran through. I was like, I just want to see if I can beat this game. And like I didn't like when it said my powers were sealed. I was like, you're just joking. You'll give them back to me at the very end, right? And like it didn't.
They won't.
Like, and like everybody's like dying, and then like being switched in. I was like, wait a minute, so this wasn't my team going into the fight. What's going on? And it's like, yeah, it was a bit traumatic. But
you don't get to pick your team members. That's why I had to kill off 3 of them to make sure I got the team I wanted.
That's the plan. I see.
Well, I mean, it was only my plan because my 3 team members were like souped up, and the other 3 were like, eh. So I was like, I don't really need you guys. So
I'm sure that's the play that smartphone will call.
Oh, probably that as well. Because they gave me, it was like Squall, Quistis, and I think Selfie that they started me with, and I was like, yeah, I don't need either of you, so I just had Squall murder them, and then waited until Zell and Renoa got switched in, and it's like, whoop, they gave me Irvin instead. Well, he's gonna die. So, it was a very not fun time for them because they kept getting murdered. I didn't know what was happening. It's like, guys, you should watch out for that sword that's slashing you in the face with an explosion. They didn't watch out for that sword that was slashing you in the face with the explosion.
But yeah, when I finish it, I can finally say I finished all the PlayStation, or not all the PlayStation, but like the Trinity on PlayStation of 7, 8, and 9, and it's a thing I can say yes. And then I could no 7 through 10 because F12. But yeah,
The B.
because that's where I was like I played it a bit and I didn't go back because like not feeling it. And then 13 did things to me, and I got really fired. It was like, sorry, Tatum, we're gonna punish you. You didn't like it, and I was like, no, I don't like
touch
this.
you in
Go
places
away.
that you didn't want to be touched.
Especially that Barthandelus, his face was all up in my stuff. I was like, whoa, dude, whoa. He wouldn't stop.
Oh yeah, he's probably one of the hardest bosses in the game at that point.
And I finally got past him, and I was like, yes. Then I got stuck later on, and like I think I was like pretty close to the end. I think you said or something RPG because I was pretty close. And then the
did you get back to? Did you get back to Cocoon?
I don't know. I was somewhere doing something, and I showed you, and you're like, you're close, Tekken, you're close. But I just couldn't close it out. So.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Because you had already done the raceway cutscene, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were like pretty much at the final leg of the game.
And then like the I forgot what it's called in that game when you're switching stuff, doing stuff and stuff. I just couldn't do it. I was like, whatever, man, whatever. So maybe I'll come back to 13. Maybe I won't. We'll see. Because I did enjoy 13. Unlike some people,
Gamer.
and the internet and the constant swapping of party members. That was nice. Everybody's all split up, but doing their things and stuff.
Yeah, I did end up like I like the way they did that one because like even though because usually with these games it's like you're stuck with who you got and then you have to like pick favorites and everything, but then it's like with this one it's like pretty much everybody had their use because you didn't have them all at the same time, so it's like, yeah, well, you get to play as everybody because reasons, and you will like it, and they all gain power or experience even if they're not in battle, so that made things easier too. So you're not like, oh, now I have to go power level so-and-so because reasons.
It's actually pretty funny because I was playing this, and there's a part where you do the time compression magicness, and there's a cutscene that plays, and I was like, dude, I don't remember any of this. And it was weird. I was like, I don't even remember what's happening. So I was like, man, my memory of the game is like a bit spotty because there's some parts where it's like, I remember that completely. And then it's like, I get to the Lunatic Pandora, and like stuff's just like, I don't remember charging the ship into the thing. I don't remember doing this time compression thing. Whoa, what else did I forget? And then like, oh, this is as far as I got, so everything else from here is a surprise, yay! So, yeah. Besides that, I played some Destiny, it's whatever, like, I'm just doing the Age of Triumph quest, because it's, it's a thing and I'm an addict, so I gotta get it done, so nothing to talk about there. Moving on.
Oh no.
I didn't play any more PlayStation VR because I'm trying to, use it as a carrot to my stick. I'm trying to.
Wow, Chico! Wow, you're on a roll today.
What? That's an expression RPG. Have you not heard that expression?
I bet it is.
Whatever. Anyway,
I bet it is.
I'm using it as a reward for myself.
You're never the stick in the expression.
You're not. Wait, you're really not.
No, I'm saying the PlayStation VR is the carrot to my stick because I'm.
You're not the stick.
I mean the stuff I have to do is the stick that I did not get to say because RPG was on like, ooh, Tekken magic.
Hey, you're being a stick. I'm just saying.
Anywho,
like,
trying to
I'm not judging.
Pack up all my stuff and get it all ready for the great exodus from the the Republic of the United States, and going someplace. And we'll see if it works.
Because it's the darkest timeline.
It is. And yeah, not gonna say too much because I don't want to jinx it. But yeah, hopefully it all works out. And if,
it won't.
Just gonna end it there. But yeah, other game I played, Killing Floor 2. Played around. It was a nice, fun jaunt through the infected hallways of places, shooting stuff in the face. And it makes me, kind of want the old Left 4 Dead style game again. Of like, what happened to Left 4 Dead? I mean, I can go back and play it. I mean, people probably still play it on the servers, but we need like, some Valve remaster or something of like Orange Box or something. Because come on, dudes, like just modernize it, spruce it up a bit, make it look pretty, and then give us our 64K edition, Valve, please. I mean, it's not that hard of work. You don't even have to make a game. You can just be like, click, 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 type, 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 upgrade, graphic here, texture here.
I don't think it works like
here.
that.
No, it does not.
It's like I don't know much about developing, but I'm almost 100% on that one.
I'm just saying, throw us an effing bone here, man. You don't even have to like make a new game. It's just there. You just gotta make it modern or not. I mean, it's already modern, but like just put the new technology in it and be like, even have like some sweet VR mode. That'd be great. I'd be super sweating all the time, and have to like clean out my VR visor after every thingy on the lens because it'd be so hot and steamy in there for me, getting all weirded with the zombies and stuff. What else did I play? I think that what did I play? I think on my PS3. I didn't play anything on my PS3, but I did download some stuff. PS4. I didn't play anything else, did I? No, because I didn't play Tekken 7. I didn't play Wipeout. I didn't play Marvel Heroes. I played Destiny and Killing Floor, that's it? What? Oh, I guess it is all I played, because I'm trying to get the out of here, so yeah, that's all I played, whatever. And Final Fantasy VIII, 'cause I'm almost done, so yeah. Oh wait, no, I didn't play any retro stuff this week. My Wii has just been sitting here, so never mind.
Wow, Chico,
That's
wow.
all I've been playing. I almost played some Kirby Dream Land so I could say RPG. I played it before the podcast and I finished it because it's such a nice, fun time that's like, a good few hours, but it's a magical land that you go to in Kirby's Dream Land, and you get to stop all the bad things and have fun doing stuff. But
In Kirby's Dreamland.
So yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Well, all these amazing sales are going on, and I want things, but
Because he's tropical.
backlog and all. And when you think about backlog and you want to get through it quickly without too much fuss, what are the games you think of? Well, that's Telltale Games, because this
They
is
will
what I've
remember
noticed.
that.
Like, a lot of them, it doesn't
LOLs.
matter too much what goes down. It's just like,
Because at the end of the day,
yeah, it's
everything
like,
is going to be terrible.
you can finish it without too much fuss. Finishing it is not a problem. It's like, if you care though, then maybe it's a problem. So I started with The Walking Dead Season 3, because actually I do care about that one, and I was like, alright, but these tend to be more straightforward. Especially, well, my other the other one I played this week was Game of Thrones, and the more I play, it's like, yeah, this is not straightforward at all.
Game of Thrones is odd.
It is so good though. It is so good the way they did that. I love that game.
It's very political and stuff.
In this chapter,
So it's
you
like-
play the handmaiden, and you must
It's like
serve
a-
Cersei and kneel before her.
It's like, hey, Cersei, how about you suck on my end? She's like, excuse me? I'm like, just kidding. I'm going to kneel. Love you. When I was playing through that part as the handmaiden, though, with Cersei, I was just like, because it just seems like nothing I was going to do was going to, like, please her, because she seems kind of like, she has that look on her face,
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Nothing you do will please me. I'm like, well, I mean, I guess, but...
But then you don't
Did
wanna
I
do
tell you
anything
how-
bad, like, get what you need, because it's like, ooh, she's going to punish me because she has that face. It's like, it's like a
It's
double.
like, did I tell you how pretty your chamber pot looks today? I'm sure it's gorgeous, just like your beautiful face. Also, when's the last time you slept with your brother? Okay. I'm gonna go.
See, I think that's the hardest part for me with Game of Thrones. It's like, I know a little bit about the Game of Thrones, and like, this game takes place in that universe. And like, Walking Dead is sort of separate from the TV show and the comics, which I've seen a lot of. But Game of Thrones takes place like in the TV show world, so it's like,
Oh, it does?
Yeah, that's why
Oh,
it's all the
that-
same people from the
That
show.
makes things difficult because it's like, well, I've seen one episode.
Yeah, it's like so I know certain things.
Yeah, that made me
and
like
it's
do like a really bad choice at the beginning because I was like, I knew stuff was going to go down, and I was like, sorry, dude, I can't save you. And then I felt bad like the entire like for the rest of the season. And at the very end, I got like a thing in my special ending of like, he shouldn't have done that. And I was like, don't say that about me, Jon Snow. I feel bad now to replay it again. Just do that
We'll
one thing.
always remember that, except that one time you won't remember it.
It's like Jon Snow said something bad about me. I liked him though.
He was so dreamy. He was so dreamy.
Yeah, going through like I think the hardest part for me to wrap my head around is playing all the different characters. Like even though they're the same house, it is hard for me to sort of ignore that they're also individuals that may want other things.
Yeah, and
I,
not necessarily for the honor of their stupid house.
Yeah, it's like that's the conflict.
That's why it's so good.
I mean, like obviously like that's on purpose. Like that's the conflict, like your personal entanglements versus your house stuff. But then like the house stuff is like, well, it seems like the house stuff is what this game is all about, right? So yeah, it's like it's very tough. It's like
is about
am
the
I
house.
yeah, it's like am I supposed to play as these people, or am I supposed to play as like this hive mind who is just directing all these minions? It's like, yeah, like this is how we're gonna do it, and this is how we're gonna win and push back and all that. And
You have the collective knowledge of all of them.
yeah, that was the thing. It was like when lords go down, it's like, well, I mean, his knowledge and experiences are still here.
It's like, technically, I still know all of this happened, so I know
Yeah.
you're a jerk face.
But it was like that has been my struggle throughout the whole game. So, you know, if anyone in the universe of Game of Thrones was trying to game me, it would be really hard because I probably behave really erratically.
You're like, what is going
'Cause
on?
I'm never sure. It's like, I don't know.
It's like, I know you betrayed my brother and ate my sister, so...
I forgive you.
It's like, wait, what?
And then they'll be like, oh, thank you for your forgiveness. And then I'll like
Stab
kill them or something.
It's like, welcome to Game of Thrones. Like, what's going
It's
on
like,
here?
I am completely all over the board.
It's like
with Game of Thrones.
like anytime somebody sends one of those messenger ravens, they're like, House of Forest, they're just being insane. We're like, we don't know what's happening. We just don't know what's happening.
What do you think they're plotting? I don't know. I have no idea. It makes no sense.
It's like it's just all over the place. Just all over the place.
And
Don't
I
think they
seem
have a plan. It's too erratic.
Yeah. I seem to remember that this is one of the Telltale games where you have an effect on the outcome.
Yep.
So you could like totally fail everything. I think, because that's what it seems like right now. There was at some point they sort of laid it out as like, all right, here is our chances of these are the things that we're depending on survival for. There's this thing that could happen, or this thing that could happen, or this thing that could happen, and each of those, like, one of the characters is sort of in charge of making it happen. And
they
like,
fail miserably in mine,
yeah,
by the way.
just like not doing well on any of them. It's like
Every time they're like, oh yeah, but this person will come through, and then
Yeah.
they'll switch over to that person. It's just like they in fact did not come through. They did not come through at all. I was like, well, maybe this guy.
stop saying that.
Actually,
got stabbed
I'm
in the
not sure if that's the case. It
Nope.
just makes it does have do like a good job of like making you feel like you could have an impact and like save the day. But I'm not actually sure if you can save the day.
I don't think you can because so far
This is a Telltale
like,
game. Let's not be mistaken.
I've-
So it's possible
I've
they just like
no,
did a
like,
good job of making you think you do.
That's what I remember from like an interview. I think it was like one of the interviews said that the Game of Thrones game, you don't necessarily save the house. And I was like, so you can save the house then?
challenge accepted.
And I don't remember if that is true of this game. I think this is the one that they were talking about, and I was like, Yeah, so
This is the only Game of Thrones game, right?
well, like I've read a lot of interviews about different Telltale games. I don't remember if this is the one that they said, "Oh yeah, like this one you have an effect," unlike the other ones where it's like we make you think, if you did it a certain way, and we make you think that that guy will remember something, but actually we're gonna kill him like 2 scenes from now. So I
He will, in fact, not
suppose he
remember.
remembered, but it
Right up
wasn't
until
for
he
very
died.
long.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because they did that like at the beginning of the game too. Because
Yeah.
he's like he will remember this, and then he proceeded to not remember it because he got stabbed. I was like, well,
Like, maybe. But no, well, and then another thing happened to me was at one point the game it seemed like it screwed me. I had made a decision with what's his name? Garrett at the wall.
mhm.
Like one of my actions was one thing, and then when it did the previously on Game of Thrones, like it seemed like it maybe forgot what I did or like negated it or something, and I was like, "What?" I was like, "Well, I just don't care anymore. If you're not gonna remember my decisions, and I'm not gonna go back and replay this, then." I'm just gonna push buttons and not really even worry about it for the rest of the game. And that was in episode 4, so
Oh, I only got to episode 2 or finished episode 2, so I'm not that far yet.
I was like, everyone, we're all on our own now. We're playing Hive Mind, and we don't win. If Hive Mind plays to win and doesn't care how many characters die.
This is actually the premise of the last Virtue slash reward game.
It's like, oh, if I can't protect that one person because the game has undone what I did, then it's like Hive Mind is taking over. Only the house matters. But being so late into the game now, I think I'm like over halfway through episode 6. It's just like,
Oh my.
I don't know if we can win at this point. Yeah, I'm basically hoping that I remembered wrong and that Game of Thrones is not one that you can affect, and somehow a miracle will happen at the end.
And then it's like,
And it will be really messy, lots of people die, but
it's like somehow
house
a wolf
wins.
came out of nowhere and ate this guy. It's like,
yeah,
okay,
it's like
I
Hive Mind
accept
will
this.
win. It'll just be really costly, but I don't care about that anymore.
Did you?
It's like-
Did you? What did you? Oh man. Okay, I don't want to talk about it because RPG hasn't gotten that far. But did you? Did you think that the since RPG's already played the first episode, did you think that the twist at the end of the first episode and the end of the fifth episode were like really really good as far as like the choice?
Yeah.
Or not,
Well,
I guess the first one's not a choice, but like the second one, man, that was just like I thought that like worked on the level of since they give you multiple playable characters of like that was like oh that one like you felt like way more than like in I think episode
Oh,
2
wait,
Walking
that-
Dead season 1 where it's like so who's it gonna be? It's like this time it's like no I don't know. It's just like oh man that one got me.
Wait, which
Wait.
one? Because what
The
are you
end
talking
of
about?
episode 2 was.
No, in
No, the end of episode 2 was the funeral.
in episode 1 because I was like just such like he didn't see it coming and it's like bam.
Oh yeah,
That's
that was
like-
like
that's
very surprising,
like-
but
Oh, yeah, I
also
felt-
not surprising because
Because
it's
it's Game
like
of Thrones.
I was like, oh, well, that's the first one.
Yeah, to me that
But
was
it
like
did
not
sort of-
being a Game of Thrones person when I played it. I was like, oh, so this is what I'm in for. I
Yeah.
was like, holy crap! I was like, oh, the Tiger's ready for this. How did that happen? Because I didn't see that coming. I was like, wow, that was like the best Telltale twist so far. I was like, wow.
I was kind of like I felt so powerless in that moment because I was like, wait, is there any way I can fix this? Like, no, no, you can in fact not. The game is like no matter what you do.
Yeah, that was like the first slap in the
go.
face, and then like for me, like the rest of the season was just like Telltale slapping me down every time I felt like I had hope at all. 'Cause I
That's
remember
also
feeling
because
very beat
that
down
still
when I
plays
played this
into the
game.
whole. It's just like, oh, this person will take care of it, and then it's just like, yeah, these people are not. They are in fact not taking care of a lot of things right now because
Like it was surprise. The end of episode 1 was surprising, but then, or it was like shocking but not surprising. I I think. Or no, it was surprising. Maybe it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't shocking. It was surprising. So it's just like, holy crap, that just happened. And then you're like, well, this started with the most famous massacre in the series. So I guess I should have I should have seen it coming.
Wait, the most famous massacre in the series?
Yeah, Red Wedding.
Yeah, I know nothing. Remember, I only seen one episode, and it was not that one.
Well, that's what it starts with. And so then, yeah, what was the end of episode 2 thing?
No, I said episode 5, not 2.
Oh, okay. Yes. That was kind of... Well, it was funny because there's parts where before that part, like before he gets back, I'm just going to use vague he. Before he gets back, he talks about how the other guy will maybe be disapproving of him. And then, like, you get there, and then I was like, wait, is he, who was also me, gonna be disapproving of me? Like, I would not do that to my other me.
It's like the hive mind. The hive mind.
It's like conflict for the hive mind. Do not deal with it well. And so I was just like, and then it didn't happen. It's like, oh, okay, that's close, because I'm not sure whose side I would pick. And then the thing happens. I'm like, It's like, well, I gotta go with who I believe these guys are, because there's nothing else to go on really.
And also, what happens during the Red Wedding? What is that? So I know for future reference.
I don't know. Isn't that when they killed the Starks?
Yeah. I think that's when they killed all the Starks.
Well, not all the Starks, but most of the Starks.
But it was just like this crazy, shocking scene where like they're at this party basically, and then everyone is slaughtered, and it is really bloody, and it was like, what?
Oh, also spoiler if you haven't seen Game of Thrones. Sorry, or if you're currently watching it, my bad.
It's not as bad.
Yeah. It's pretty fun so far, but also very confusing. I'm not sure how to be all these people. And so fun has nothing to do with success as far as I can, as far as my playthrough is concerned, because nothing is going well.
I don't think it's supposed to.
I don't know how to be a handmaiden.
It's true. It's like, I don't even know what a handmaiden is, but
I just thought it was great that like they gave you that, and then like by the end, like depending on how you played, it's like you're either like the least liked person in the castle, or just like you played the game well, and it's like, yeah, my BFF is Cersei. What, you want some of this? Yeah, that's right. Step off. Yeah.
Because like initially, like I didn't like I think that's probably why I've never really gotten into Game of Thrones aside from like the high fantasy setting, but then it's like the politics, because I'm not like a huge fan of politics, but it's like this whole like the whole series seems like it's all about politics and orgies, and it's like, well, I'm okay with one of those things, and it's not the politics. So yeah, but I mean,
that for me is like why I ate it up when I played it. I was like, ooh, I get to be a handmaiden? Oh, I get to be a lord? Oh, I get to be just some squire dude? It's like you get to just see the society from like every different tier of the classes. I like this. Oh, I have to play the game too and like politic it out and be like work deals, handshaking and money exchanging. Ooh, I like this. This is willing and dealing. Ooh, yeah, taking life this game.
Well,
I mean, depending on how you play it.
I think the hard part is there are parts like I have a very cursory knowledge of Game of Thrones stuff, so there was like a lot of parts where I thought I was doing one thing, but I was actually doing something else that was not helping me, and I was like, well, that was an accident. It was like, oh, what's her last name? It's like, oh yeah, it's this. So you should be fine. It's like, oh, that's not good. And I was like, I was not aware of that. My bad.
Whoops.
And there was another part, or like, because I played episode 1 the month it came out, and then the next time when I started episode 2, it was like recently. So that's
Years later,
Years
we find our characters.
Yeah,
It's
so
like
there was a lot of
previously on
parts.
Games of Thrones.
Yeah, there was a lot of parts like it shows the person was like, "Do I know you?" And then I'm supposed to like react. I was like, yes. Let's
They're like,
let's go with
remember that
guy."
time you did this? And you're like, I don't. Maybe. Yes. I killed a guy. Is basically the response. It's like, why are you admitting your crimes to me? It's like, because I don't know who you are, so I don't know if you're an ally or not. So one way, it either you trust me or you're very intimidated by me now. So
Something like that. Yeah, at this point, I'm basically. My hope is. This is a high fantasy setting, right?
Yeah.
Like, which means there's like magic and stuff. So let's get us some of that, and
let's get us some of that.
that's what's gonna save us.
Where's that stuff, guys? Where are the fairies at? Where are the fairies at?
It's like, all right, we needed this army that didn't go. We needed this army that didn't go. We needed this army that.
It's
is
true, like
not exactly how we thought it would go. And it was like so. Magic? Yeah, magic.
The sad thing is, I'm not sure there's like that kind of magic in this setting, though. So that's unfortunate.
There is. I think
think
there
so?
is actually that kind of magic.
I know there are dragons, so there's that.
I was actually very glad. Oh, you haven't seen that part yet, but
haven't seen
I'm
it yet.
very glad that the Telltale series takes place later in the TV series. Because the first season of the TV series has none of the, like, you wouldn't know it was high fantasy. You would just think this is like medieval stuff. Except for like a few brief glimpses, but like, yeah. So anyway, I'm glad that this takes place later.
Because so far, only one person has succeeded in my group so far of what they were supposed to do. So I'm just like, all right, we're one for like 6.
I've had none.
We're 1 for 6, guys. So good job on that. I get, yeah, because like she did get convinced to like marry me, but that was like it. Everyone else failed horribly. She's like, don't worry, Mira will get us help sent. Twice she failed. It's like, well, all right.
I guess that's not happening.
let's try this again. Then you're like, okay, all right, round 2. Oh, looks like we have an ally. Let's go to the garden at night. Yeah, that did in fact not go as planned.
Was unexpected.
I was like, okay. So I had to murder a guy. This is fine. This is fine. We're good. We can audible this. So I'm like, I don't know what we're doing. And then it's like the Ethan kid. He was just like, I'm a lord now. I know the plan. Get stabbed in the neck. All right, it's like, all right, guys, this is we're fine. We're fine. It's like the one. It's like so far. So we're like 1 for 6 right now. But it's fine. It's fine. We got this. We got this. I just have to get the older brother guy back, I guess, and hopefully he'll fix all of this.
Is he the eldest?
I have no idea. I just assumed he was because they said he was supposed to be the Lord instead of Ethan. So I'm guessing
maybe
he is in some way, shape, or form, but he didn't want to rule. So he was just like, "F all you guys, I'm exiling myself." And they're like, "Hey, I guess."
Well, it's yeah.
So things have been going well for the Forrester family, to say the least, so far.
Very good.
I mean, I guess it could be worse.
It could.
Considering it's Game of Thrones, they could all be dead. So I mean,
yeah, like I think that's what the first episode sort of sets the tone for with its ending, because it sort of feels like you play Telltale games and you sort of feel like it's kind of safe, you know.
Yeah.
The characters that you play can't die. If they die, then there's no game. This isn't Heavy Rain. and then stuff goes down, and you're like,
consequences.
yeah, there are like parts where you feel like, oh man, is this the end for this this group? This merry band is going down. This is where we die.
This is where we die.
This merry band's now dead. The end. Game of Thrones says hi.
So yeah, that it went. So things have been going swimmingly so far. So yay.
Yes.
Although, hey, at least unlike Tropical, I at least got one success. So maybe something might come through. Maybe something.
I didn't have the wedding work out on mine either, so I'm interested to see how that works out or how that plays out.
Yeah.
Because when we were going, and then he's like, "You convinced her." I was like, "Oh, well, that's great. I had to bribe you to do it, but it's fine. Love you too, hun. Love you too." And then this jackhole comes in, and he's all smug and like, "Kiss my ring." And I was like, "How about you suck my?" And he's like, "Hey, insolence." It's like, "Hey, you started this."
I also like that too. Is like there was like an actual antagonist in a Telltale game. Like every time he came, every time he entered a scene, it felt like, oh man, it's about to go down. It's about to go down. I don't know how to react because I'm trying to be honorable and upholding justice in a proper. Gentleman / lord here. Oh, would you like some tea? Okay, I'll kiss your ring. And yeah, unlike RPG, who's like, no, I am the one who has reign over this realm, and you will listen to me.
Nah. I was like, F that noise. It's like, you kiss your own.
Pretty much.
Just the blackest part of my butt. What you can do. What you can do.
Yeah, like this. Just a lot of the game. I feel like I lack knowledge that you need to be in those positions. So it's like, well, a lord is like the head of the house, but then there's also like you have to serve your serfs, sort of like they depend on you for protection and things like that. So then you can't just like think about your pride or whatever. And I was like, or wait, can you? I don't know how this system works.
I in fact can think about my pride because I did.
I'm not really certain how this how the caste system.
Yeah, it's like monarchy. That's like so outdated. This is year 2006. Yeah, don't use that crap anymore.
I kind of figured it was just like. I was like, maybe this is like feudal Japan and honors everything. So if I disgrace myself and kiss his ring, they're going to think I'm useless and like, I can't show weakness. Sorry, brother. You can't come to the funeral. That was the last they saw of him.
Yeah, so like I keep changing positions throughout, and I think the game is also confused and like sort of the narrative just feels really incoherent. But other than that, I'm curious to see how it all ends, and then this might actually be one that I play more than once. Usually I don't do that with Telltale games, but if this is the one where you can make a difference, then I want to see like how different could it be? Because like right now, it's really bad.
Actually, that's true. Because like I'm wondering if you succeed on like all of them or something somehow, maybe it's like, hey, we won 2 episodes early. You don't even have to play the rest of the
game. Well, that's the other wrench in the works that my thinking, because it's like there are parts where it seems like, oh, this could be a good thing, but there are like 3 episodes left, so something is gonna mess up here.
Time for truth and consequences. Telltale edition every game.
So it feels like maybe you don't have any control, but then the last one's like, come on, like there's got to be something you can do.
The narrator says there is in fact nothing at all.
So I don't know what's gonna happen, but it's getting pretty intense, and Hive Mind is taking over, so I expect plenty of people to die, but the house will live on. Somebody from the house will survive.
Right?
Because that's how the house wins. And that's all That's all the hive mind cares about now. We're cutting off the dead limbs now. It's like, well, oh, hostage? Then, doesn't matter. Like, kill the hostage.
Wow.
I have not been playing as a hive mind on the
Tropical's
Tropical,
playthrough is so crazy.
it's been a
I
bit
was
different
playing
for
like
me.
individual people who happened to care about the same house until the game decided to be like, oh yeah, that thing you chose to do, which was probably the right thing, or at least I thought was the right thing. It's like, yeah, we forgot that you did that. So from now on, remember that you did the wrong thing. It's like, no. My priorities have changed then. If I can't save them, then hive mind engaged. Here we go.
Yeah, I've been playing them as individual people based on how I assume their personalities are. So like the
Yeah.
handmaiden's she's been all sweet and timid, right up until she had to murder that guy. And then the like little unconfident lord has been all like, oh no, I'm gonna pretend like I'm a confident guy. He gets stabbed in the neck, so that went well too. Then it's like, okay, this is going off rails. But then I don't know who that other guy is. The Roderick guy, don't really know much about him except for he almost died horribly. So I feel like I got something to prove with him. I'm just like, hey, stay back, because even though I'm crippled, I cut you. I cut you deep. So it's been interesting at how spectacularly this is actually not working, because since all of them are basically in for their own self-interest, it's like, well, all I have left is this made-up guy, this guy that got sent to the wall, whose name I forgot already.
I know his name now.
That one.
Yes, now I remember who they are, except for the ones who died. Do I remember them? Yeah, maybe.
Tropical will not remember this.
Tropical will not remember you when you die.
Or maybe he will. Or maybe he won't.
It's like we're a little up in the air about that one.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah, it seems pretty cool. Anyway, I was talking about how uncomplicated The Walking Dead is compared to Game of Thrones. I guess I'm not a good schemer. I would not make a good handmaiden, I suppose.
You would be dead like within the first season.
Well, the handmaiden system is also weird. Like, I guess they're all highborn, because this is like the highest place or something. So even the servants are like not peasants.
I think you have to be of somewhat notable house to be like a royalty's handmaiden kind of thing. Because I mean, since you're like basically like their personal, you're like a personal assistant basically.
Yeah.
And also you're there to tell them they're pretty, so they don't feel insecure for some reason. But
an expensive butler, not a cheap discount butler.
Basically. So it's like, I'm guessing because since she's from the House of Forrester, because like they are a somewhat notable house, I guess, since they have their whole Ironwood thing going on. So I think even just to be a personal assistant, you have to have some type of like decent blood in you. You can't just be some pig farmer that they keep making fun of that one guy about. Cause like, haha, your dad gave us bacon, even though everybody loves bacon. We're still gonna be jerk faces about it. It's like, well, I mean, let's think about this for a minute. If it wasn't for me, there'd be no bacon. Now, tell me which is better, bacon or wood? You decide.
One you can eat and sustain yourself off of. The other, make fire out of.
If you know
Because once I'm about to say they even require like special craftsmen and stuff. You don't need that for bacon. It's just delicious. It's just delicious in there for you. And it's like, hey, I'm sizzling on the stove. Come get me. Whereas the wood is like, I'm not burning. I refuse. I'm special. So no. So yeah. So you make fun of the bacon guy if you want to, but keep in mind, bacon. delicious, and it'll never turn on you. So I feel like he should get like a little bit more credit. But yeah, yeah. You may continue about The Walking Dead.
So I started Walking Dead season 3, and and then I finished it. So
Oh my!
It is.
Is it that short, or you just marathon?
It seemed, well, I think the sort of the uncomplicated part, like.
Didn't they give you like 2 episodes in the first episode because it's like a 2-parter?
Yeah, but I think if you didn't download it during release time, like you still have to download 2 separate things.
Oh, okay.
So I actually only downloaded the first one. I finished it. I was like, oh right, it was a 2-parter, and I was like, well, I gotta wait. And then I was like, hey, you know what? I'll just download all of them. And then I waited, and anyways,
Was this
Has
the
that
one
been
where you
on
had
sale
to
yet?
choose your choices, or did it import your save?
no. So I went and imported my save through that convoluted method. Like I had to download season 2 so I could download my season 2 save and then import it over to season 3. And I was like, that was dumb, but whatever.
How did your
It's done.
season 2, and since there is like a different start scene for everybody?
Is it a different start scene for everyone?
Yeah, depending on what your Clementine had at the end of season 2. Because on mine, I was at wherever Wellington, and then they got ambushed.
Okay.
Or they got raided, and she had to escape with AJ.
I don't like the first time I saw Clementine was like when Javier meets her.
Yeah, because
Meets
it
her.
flashes back to how she got to wherever she's at.
My
How we got
flashback
here.
did not reveal that.
What?
Like, so I ended up back at the place. I don't remember what it was called.
Which one? The place back in Georgia?
Where you killed that one dude in interrogation style?
Yeah.
Kenny killed that dude in interrogation style.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
Jane, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait,
And
what place is
and we
this?
let the people in.
You let them in?
Yeah, so like that's I remember each of ours was different.
Yeah.
Like I remember Tekken stayed
So
with his
she's like,
boy.
F that crap.
And,
Basically.
yeah. RBG was like, and I was like, yeah, sure, let's rebuild.
Nah,
And
bruh.
Yeah, I saw those
when
gates and I was like, yes, we did it. Kenny, you're my bro. We did it. We did it. And they're like,
Aw.
no, only one of you gets in. And I was like, no. Oh, Kenny. Oh, he's my bro. He's been my bro for 2 seasons. You can't do this to me. And then we had our very teary-eyed send-off, and it's like, I love you, Clementine. I love you too, Kenny. And, oh, it tore me apart. It tore me up. Oh, it's great though. It's great. It's like best
wait,
eating
that
ever.
was at the end of season 2?
Yeah,
Oh.
and he left us because he's like.
Well, Kenny
oh.
died in mine, so that did not happen. That did, in fact,
All right.
not happen.
If you're listening, you probably are aware that
Also, spoiler alert.
yeah, we're talking about the stuff.
Now, mind you, this is spoiler alert for season 2. I haven't played 3 yet, so
Yeah,
you're
the
safe
stuff
for that
the
for
stuff
now.
that went down. Talking about the stuff that went down. Yeah, like the first, like throughout all the flashbacks, I never found out what happened exactly
What?
for her to be out there. She
Maybe
just
she'll
said
reveal it later on.
some stuff happened.
Wait,
and,
where do you?
Oh, wait,
where's
you finished it, though.
Javier
That's
when
weird.
you?
Okay, see, that's
uh,
weird because on Twitter, someone I follow tweeted their Clementine thingy at the end that you get for like how they got to where they're at, and it like has a little synopsis as far as like what happened at the end of season 2 to like how they got to where they're at in season 3. Because I was like, oh, that's cool, and then I'm glad I got to where I'm at by
did
how
not.
I got. So what? Okay, I'll show
Yeah.
you the thingy because you should have gotten a thingy that says or like a scene in the game. That's kind of messed up now.
Well, like you mean there's like
She
an
just, like,
end
talks about it.
summary page
Yeah.
for her.
Yeah, but it didn't have anything about like
No,
how.
it didn't say anything
Yeah,
about
because the one I
how.
saw when like it had that in it, so I'm gonna try to find it real quick.
Huh. I gotta say, like, listening to Tekken talk about it, I was like, not certain about season 3, but then after playing through it, it's like, wow, it was really good, and I'm glad that they did it that way. And I always go back to like how Kojima used Raiden in Metal Gear Solid 2. It's like you sort of you get to see characters differently depending on who you are in the game.
And this one was like even more special because it's like that's your Clementine of like how you brought her up. It's like you brought her up and now she's in the world doing stuff and it's like my Clementine wouldn't do that, or no Clementine, don't do it. It's just like, oh. Or like, yeah, she did it. Yes, yes. Good job, Clementine. You're the best.
Yeah, it's just like it's just really cool. And then the story of this family also I thought was pretty compelling. And it's like, oh, I want to know what happens. I want to keep going. And I think that's why I was able to get through it so quickly.
Yeah, because I read this, and I was like, oh, well, this just spoiled the starting part for when Tropical RPG would tell me about what happened in season 2, whatever. Thanks a lot, whatever. No.
Weird. Yeah. In the end,
it's the first blurb at the top. Don't read RPG. It's a spoiler.
Okay, thanks for warning me.
All right. I'm gonna look at this thing. What was she for you at the end?
She was unbitten, unstoppable, something.
She can get bitten? Oh no!
That's what I said. It's like,
wait, that's what it said? It said unbitten, unstoppable, something?
Yeah, it had like
as the bold words?
Yeah.
Huh.
I'll try to
Interesting.
Did your Clementine get bitten, dropped over?
No.
Was she a zombie?
I got one of those, everyone gets it at the end. It's like, Clementine's story will continue. And I was like, yes!
Yeah, that was like the hook, man. After they had that season 4 hook was so good on that. Like, I was like, the way they do the whole epilogue, that was just, that got me. I was like, dude. Like, I was so down on season 3, and then after that, I was like, dude, I can't wait to play with
pro
again.
She is pro. No, mine was survival expert.
Mine is gonna be murderer. Because my Clementine don't play. She don't play.
I don't think I had this. It was just like survival expert. And then I have to go back and look. I screenshotted it, so but yeah, I don't remember seeing any.
Yeah, here's yeah, it's uncompromising, unstoppable, unbitten. Oh crap, I didn't know it would post the thingy as the image in the chat. I wouldn't have did that. I didn't. Whatever. Good thing you didn't look RPG.
I'm not looking at it. Yeah.
Don't look at the chat.
So now I'll never know if there's something actually important going on in the chat because it's like, well, Teken's posting spoilers because reasons.
Oh wow! So there's at least 3 different
Clementine states.
Yeah.
Yeah, because after talking to Gamer, I was like, holy crap, like there's like a lot of diversion from him and my playthrough at the end as far as like stuff that happened in the final episode.
He had a totally different one too?
I don't know if he had a different thingy, but he had like stuff happen at the end of his, like in the last episode that like was completely different from mine. Because I'm not gonna say what happened, but stuff went down. I was like, holy crap, Gamer, that was like way different than mine. And then, like, also apparently, like, how your Clementine is like dependent on like how she resolves a specific situation in the final episode, which is pretty cool. because it gets like pretty tense, and then like she has like this moment of like what happened in season 2 at the end, like it like influences her decisions in that moment. And it's like that was just awesome. Like the way that like when you like read it at the end of like the epilogue, like oh that's why she did that. It's like oh
Okay, yeah, I have that one that you had.
that's weird because we had different choices at the end of season 2, but whatever.
Oh, but my last blurb was different.
That was cool too because I had to be like, I know you can handle this, Clementine, but I'm going to do this thing, so I gotta make sure this I save this person because I don't think she can make it on her own. I mean, I don't think she can make it on her own, but like I know Clementine can handle this, so I'm going to leave it up to her. She got this, and I'm going to make sure the city does not become walker infested.
Yeah, it looks like my well, yeah, I guess that I probably did have that first blurb, but I just missed it. Well, that one was definitely different from yours. The second was different from yours, and the fourth one was different from yours. Survival expert. And I was like, cool. And yeah, it was just like, it was really neat because it was like the relationships with all the people are different. So she has, you know, one relationship with Lee, and then in the second one, it was like, it was you as her. So that was different. And then the third one, it was like some guy who, after some, or maybe not, like stuff goes down and it changes her again. It's like, it's really cool.
Yeah, that was really cool. It was like, you know, season 3, it's like, oh, okay, so everything's fine, but like in The Walking Dead, nothing's ever fine, and then stuff goes down. It's like, well, that was a nice 15 minutes of sanctuary while it lasted. Even though you knew it wouldn't last. And it's like, oh, well, good old Walking Dead.
So the question occurred to me when I was playing is like, when you play the Walking Dead games, do you play as you, or do you play, because like now that we're in season 3, it just feels less and less free. Because like, for example, when you create a character in the beginning, like you have total control and like you are making that character whoever. But after a while, you know, you create more and more, and then after a while, like the character sort of takes on their own life. Like you can sort of, you know what they would do, and you can't, like, suddenly you can't write things that would be like out of character for that character. So like when you play Walking Dead, do you play as what you would do, or do you play and it always comes back to the parts about do you help people end their misery and stuff like that. It's like,
you mean murder?
Do you always do you it's like, do you choose not to because that's, you are Javi when you play it, or is it because you think that the character would not do it?
Because I'm the mother effing scorpion, Tropical.
I play as me because I'm always like, well, what would I do in this situation? And like what I think I would do, I always do in that situation. I don't be like, well, I would do this, but video game, or like, it's the video game, let me do this. It's like, no, it's like, well, I'm not going to euthanize this person because I'm not a terrible person like Tropical, or I'm not going to just kill them and end their misery because they asked me to because I'm not Tropical and I'm terrible. So, I mean, unless they're like, Clementine, I know you need the secret. I'll tell you the secret, but you have to kill me. And I'm like,
It's like, well, I mean, just because you're being so creepy, I'm going to kill you anyway, but...
RPG.
I mean...
See, now that I've seen that scene, it's like, yeah, it is different. Like,
because to me, I guess,
well,
like, since we're always talking about like the theme of the season, since like 1 was basically getting Clementine like to safety or like saving Clementine. Like 2 was like there wasn't really no theme. It was just like what the F, man. Stuff goes down.
Well, I mean, season 2 is just about finding a safe haven. Because
And
it's like,
No, I felt like season 2 was about finding the reason. Where, like,
oh yeah, what to keep
Nah.
going or like what keeps you the reason it's
yeah,
going and,
like
what
in
your
the
life
first
is
game,
for.
you don't know that she is going to be so important. Like, you think that you're Lee, and so you're surviving. And then when
Yeah.
when you find her, then it becomes about like keeping, helping this girl in whatever way.
I don't know, man. I feel like 2 is about finding home. They've kind of. I think it's one of those things where you've kind of like come to terms with the fact that the world is screwed. So, got to make the best of it, I guess. And then,
See, like, I don't know that is such an easy thing to just think. I guess you wouldn't. If the world has all gone to hell, like what? Why do you continue on?
because
like,
it's one of those things you make
it's
peace
not.
with it.
It's not just you make the best of it.
It is. This is life now. Tropical.
No, so like
this is life now. So
The darkest
basically, it's like it's one of those things. Like, well, you have to come to accept that this is your life, and nothing's
well,
going to
yeah,
change that.
that might be true, and like that's why, like for me, like season 2 is about finding that. It's like coming, not really coming to accept the world as it is, and then making the best of it, but like finding out, the reason, part of it. It's like the second half, like finding the reason to do so.
Yeah, and then like
Nope.
another reason,
Just accept it.
or like another reason that's presented when I was like going back through my share button videos and like looking at it. I like had a share button thingy video saved to season 2, and like Jane has this conversation with Clementine of like, don't let these people weigh you down because in your gallantly trying to like do the good thing all the time, there's going to be a situation where something bad's going to happen, and like you could end up dying or getting bitten or something. So don't let them like always like don't let the group that is like dysfunctional and falling apart sink your ship. She has like the conversation before she leaves, and then like I would say that like season 3 for me, like the theme is like, well, it's like a duality because you have like Javi and his like whole like family group trying to stay together, like get through this. But then like with Clementine, like the main thrust was like, I gotta get back to AJ. I gotta get back to AJ. So it's like no matter what, I'll do anything it
AJ.
takes, anything. And I was like, and then like that's like the thing that hit me, and like the scene with the doctor is like, anything Tekken, even this. And I was like, and then like the bar's going down, and like, yes, I'll do it. And then I did it, and I was like, I don't care, I'm gonna find AJ. We're getting back together. He can't stop me. And then I had no remorse, and I was like, well, sometimes you gotta do that. I mean, he didn't. I mean, he wanted it. So it's like, whatever, dude. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna justify it anyway, because that was my whole motivation for that character. It's like,
Wait, is EJ the baby?
I'm gonna find AJ again, and we're gonna get back together.
Actually, that kind of makes AJ the Clementine of that season, because it's like, except it's like in reverse, because like when you're trying to find her parents, who are obviously already dead by this point, but it's one of those things where it's like now it's the other way around, where her parents are trying to find her, kind of, because like Clementine is the parent now.
I mean, well, what is season 3 about to me? I guess I haven't really thought about it yet. Like, it is. I guess it's kind
I
of
also like the part, even though like it just killed me that I knew Telltale was like going to do that. Like there are some situations that you just can't de-escalate. Like there's like the part with like Javi and the brother. It's like, even though they previewed it in the trailer for that episode of like the final episode, I was like, dude, I didn't try to take your woman. Like, we don't have to do this, dude. We're bros. We're bros. Like, we don't do this. Come on, man. I'm your brother. Don't do this to me. I don't want to be that way.
It's like, no, I won't.
But then
I
Clementine was
won't.
there, and she's like, well, guess what? I'm the special assist character in this fighting game, and you can get the F out. It's like, oh, Clementine. That's my girl. That's my girl. That's my Clementine.
Special assist fighting character.
She's like, yeah, get the F out. Yeah, suck it. He's great.
Which one is she? Is she like Magneto or Rogue or Sentinel? Like whatever.
See,
What are we
that's
looking at?
interesting. Like, so in that scene, you played as the hive mind, basically, because you aren't Clementine, but you were like,
No, because I
You
wasn't
did it-
time though. I was
well,
doing.
what do you think Clementine would have done if Javi refused?
I didn't know she was going to step in though, Tropical. I didn't know she was.
I
going
think
to,
she would
to
step in,
into- like I didn't know that was going to
because-
happen. I just knew that as my brother, I wasn't going to do that to my brother, and like
Well, no, not that part. The info part.
info. Oh, the part with the doctor.
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. Well, in that okay. Uh, okay, but that wasn't the scene where like Javi was like, oh well, I gotta blah blah. Like there it didn't seem like there was anything of value for Javi in that scene. Like in that scene for me, I was playing as like me. I guess me playing as Clementine, or just like
Yeah.
Well,
The hive mind.
Okay, fine,
You're
that's fine. I was playing as a
you-
hive mind, Tropical, whatever.
You're the hive mind.
You were the hive mind.
I mean, Clementine's like right there, so it's not gonna be like I'm not gonna get the info for F and AJ when I can get the F and info for AJ. Which that's like my main thrust here. I mean,
Well, why do you-
I
but why do
time
you
out,
care, though?
time out, Tropical. That is not. No. Okay, because like you play as like both those characters, so it's not like you have like just Javi this season. So you have Javi
Yeah,
and
but
Clementine.
you're still playing as the hive mind though.
Okay, fine, whatever. Because I just happened to be playing as Javi and Clementine was standing right next to me. I mean, you might as well be playing as Clementine, whatever.
Hmm.
And I
Well,
care about Clementine anyways. That's kind of cheating because like in my hive mind will like in that scenario like in this series anyway like my hive mind will always like side with Clementine like F Javi because that guy is just not as cool. We've only known him
F
for
them
one
in
season.
the bee.
So yeah, like I think my default is to play as the people that I'm playing as. So there are I think a few scenes where
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it though, like there are parts where I do play like I don't do what I would have done because there's a part where that one dude is like bit, and then like even though like they say or like you have like oh I don't know if like she's always there, but like the doctor lady's there, and then like your brother's there, and I was like
yeah.
I was like very conflicted though because I was like I knew if I did the thing that I did like it wouldn't work, but I didn't want to escalate the situation with my brother, so I was like, well, I should do this. But I guess in that situation, I probably just I just played as myself though, because I just didn't want to like risk the conflict of my brother getting worse, because I just wanted to like see if I could be at peace with him by the end of the season, like not have to, stuff didn't have to go down. But then
Wait, your brother's the villain?
not necessarily. It's complicated. There's more to it than that.
So he's
Yeah.
the villain. So I have to kill him. Cool. Good to know.
it's funny because like Clementine is the character I care about mostly, but even so there were times when I could not side with her.
Yeah, that was cool too. It's like you are at conflict at some parts with her of like what your motivations are, because like there's that part where like it's revealed like whose faction she's in, and like you're like Clementine now, and then it's like, well, do you still trust her, Javi? And it's like, well, it's Clementine, of course I trust her. So it's like, but it's like I
Like
can't
the part
answer
with-
like I can't answer that question like unbiasedly because it's like, what's Clementine?
Because it's Clementine, yeah.
Yeah, like the part with Conrad, you probably had that part too. Like,
Oh yeah, dude, that's crazy.
I could not side with Clementine there. It's like, I mean, I would because it's Clementine, but on the other hand, it's like that's not who I am right now. It's like,
Yeah, and then like all the parts where it's like, man, this I say that season like probably had like the best amount of like should we stay or should we go moments where it's like, I always chose to stay even though going was probably a better option, but I had things to resolve, so it's like I couldn't just cut and run and like screw the people over that I was like, I came all this way to like find out what happened to them. It's like I just can't do that. It's like even though the smart thing to do would have been leaving. Like in hindsight, I was like, yeah, I probably should have just left.
it's really great. So, the Kate thing, how else can that end up? Like, I think we both chose basically the same thing.
Cause
Really?
in the logo or the wallpaper for the final episode, it has like a zombified Kate, and I was like, why'd they spoil that? Like that's why I was like freaking out about it when I like went to their thingy to see when the episode was up, and I saw it, and I was like, what? They're gonna spoil something like that? So it's like I think she can get bitten and turn into a walker, but or just probably just like killed off. But I don't know because I've only played it once. But
Wow.
going from that
Spoilers.
that wallpaper screenshot, whatever, that can probably happen. But then like the whole romance thing can probably play through or like not play through. It's weird because it has like the whole romance thing, so it's like you can. But then it's cool because you have like the whole choice at the end of like try to get together with Kate or just stay whatever, platonic Tekken. And I was like, friend zone, haha, I get to friend zone you, haha. How's it feel? How's it feel, Kate? After all that effort, how's it feel to just go crawling back to the corner after you were all up on me, Javi? You can't have any of me because seriously, were you not aware of the zombie apocalypse we're in, lady? And you almost got us effing killed. My brother was all trying. You're his wife. What is wrong with you? I just wanted to like yell at her. I was like, no, I'm not gonna be with Kate. She's crazy. Well, she's not crazy. But she almost got me. Bad things happened. Bad things happened. It's all her fault. That's all I'm gonna say. Because man, drama up the wazoo. That's all that ship's bringing in, and she can have that ship all to herself. So she can just float down the ocean alone in the USS Kate. No, thank you. Says my hobby anyway. Ugh.
Huh.
Don't you watch you watched the show, right, Tropical?
Yeah.
So it was like anything tied in besides Jesus as the character?
Jesus.
Because Gamer said like, because I asked Gamer about it, and he just said like he knew Jesus.
It's the reason.
But I don't know like
Well,
from the later episodes.
oh yeah. That part I was like,
because they did like
that
mention
looks
other
like.
cities.
Yeah, so there are other cities.
So, like Richmond and something kingdoms. I was like, I have no idea because I haven't read the comics and I don't want to know like what's this mean.
It's just the kingdom.
Ah.
That's who he was
shows
with.
up in season 3.
Yeah, sort of.
That doesn't.
It's really.
I think
Right.
Jesus is actually voiced by Garrus McKing. So I was like listening to his voice and I was like, is that Garrus? The whole time I was like, is that Garrus? But like I didn't look at the credits to like see if it's the same character. But like it sounded so much like Garrus. I was like, is that Garrus? I was like trying to like not. I was trying to focus. I was like, Tegan, this is not Mass Effect. You did not die here.
Or is it?
Shepard's not going to save you from this. Neither's Lara, so you need to focus, dude.
Or is he?
He's not.
The kingdom. Yes.
But yeah, like doing the good thing and like being Paragonal, that got me so screwed at the end. As far as like episode, I think 4. I think yeah, it's episode 4 because it wasn't the finale. But like the part where you go to the trial, dude, that I screwed myself so bad from like being I'm gonna do the right thing all the time and women and children first, and like yeah, that's when playing me or playing the game as me got me so effed. I got like triple striked. I was like, oh, you didn't execute this person. Here's the body. We have evidence. Also, you killed the doctor to get the intel. More evidence. Why'd you kill him? Oh, you're a terrible person. And then there's like a third thing. I was like, damn, Telltale, you played me like a fiddle. I was like, you took my Paragon responses and my.
Well, see, that's the problem with how you play, because it's like it's a zombie apocalypse. You can't play nice.
Hey, I've been playing nice since. I mean, besides the whole doctor thing, whatever. I've been playing this entire series.
How'd that work out for you?
Whoa, Tropical. Whoa, okay. If I'm not an intel, like that is like that. Then if I don't get the intel, this whole season was for nothing. And he wanted it. Okay, he was all doped up on opium and whatever. Anyway, he was like
everyone you've had opportunity to do that to wanted it.
I wouldn't say
this was the only person who had something in exchange.
Basically.
There you go. We've discussed this. Whatever. I claim no guilt and no bad things I've done, because that dude was like euthanized me, taken. I was like, okay. I mean, sure, it's like you could say, oh, it's the same thing as the lady at the gas station. It's like, whoa,
it is.
Whoa. She did not have anything to give me. A, and then B, shooting someone in the face. That is like so. That is so violent, Tropical.
If
that's
that
so
is
violent.
the
You're a terrible
difference,
person.
like that is worse. You only do it.
How is that
they have
worse?
something to pay you in return.
Otherwise, you let them suffer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's equivalent exchange. It's like, I will kill you if you give me something. It's like, I'm not just going to kill you because I have to live with that for the rest of my life, okay? Like, I'm just going to go like a cold-blooded murder like Tropical. Ice cold killer Tropical over here. Like, oh, you want it?
No.
Bam, there you go. anytime, any place.
You're
Didn't have
I
to give
am
me
giving
anything at all.
them
It was
what
free.
they want for, like at a cost to me that
He's
I'm
doing it
okay
for
with
free.
paying. Yeah, and you're doing it for personal gain.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're far worse.
Whatever.
Because it's like if you, because I mean, at least he's giving everyone that mercy. You, on the other hand, just like, nah, you have to suffer if you can't provide me with something. You're
I have
basically
suffered
like,
through 5 episodes, and I needed that Intel RPG. Nothing you say will change my mind on this. If I don't do that, it was all for nothing, and I should have killed myself too. Ah.
I am shocked and appalled.
See, if I was playing Hive Mind, though, I'd have been like, well, Clementine's still got clean hands because she didn't kill him, and I'd have killed him anyway. So, at least I thought about it. And, like, I wasn't like, well, it's just AJ. F AJ. I mean, it's just Javi. I hate this character, so he can kill him. He's a terrible character anyway. That's actually, like, what my alternate playthrough on PS4 was going to be, was, like, just Javi killing everybody, because it's like, F Javi, who cares about him? Like,
I've killed everybody.
it's like, he's got blood all over his hands, because he's just a killer.
He's like my Clementine.
Man, I guess thinking about it, that is crazy. Like, man, I guess I'm a terrible person. Whatever. Like thinking about it, like now, it's like I feel so bad because it's like I had like all these scenarios in the game where it's like I could have shot that dude in episode 1, I didn't shoot him. I could have finished that dude off in like episode 4, I didn't. But then it's like, hey Dagon, you want to know where AJ's at? We got the intel.
I'll give you candy.
Get in my van.
And that's all it took. Whatever. Anybody that doesn't kill him for the intel is a terrible person. That's why I said that. So, it's like, how could you not kill that guy? He's going to tell you where AJ was.
He had candy in his van, guys. He
There
had
were-
candy in his van.
It was interesting because, well, one, I sort of knew that it was coming, and two, it was like, I had to think about that one. Because on the one hand,
You're a terrible person, Chad.
well-
You had to think about it. You didn't with the
no,
intel.
see, with Lee, it's different. Like, Lee,
Oh, because he had done that before, yeah.
he had killed someone before any of it had happened. So he wasn't like this sort of like innocent,
yeah,
I've never killed
good point,
before.
yeah.
And so like when people came to me and were like, or the lady, like she's on death's door. She's just like, I don't want to become one of them. And I was like, all right, I will help you. Because for me, I was like, I could let you do it to yourself, but I don't know. I don't want you to have to do that. And then, so it was the same with
Oh yeah,
Clementine.
that's a good point. It's like
Don't
they don't
want-
give you the option of like just letting him off himself. It's like you have to do it this time. Like you don't even have the option this time of like, okay, you have the gun, you can shoot yourself. It's like nope, it's gonna be you kill them. They don't give you the intel. Man, Telltale.
Yeah,
Man.
like throughout all of season 1 as Lee, I was always like, I don't want you to have to do these things. So with Kenny and Duck and or at the end with Clementine, like that's sort of why I always chose that one. And then but with the Doctor, it was sort of like he's clearly miserable and he really wants it. But I had the feeling that he is their only doctor. And plus, like, it's Javier, like, it's not Lee. So he's, like, a different character who hasn't... Like, up until that point, I hadn't done that to anyone. And so it gave me pause. I was like, well, I know what Tekken chose here. I was like, do I just, like, do it? Like, I care about Clementine's thing. Like, that's important to me too. But he's not asking Clementine to do it. He's asking this guy to do it. And I was
Actually,
like,
like it's also like a really good scene just because like Clementine's staying like right there, so it's like
yeah.
you can't help but
She
be like,
asks you, she's like, I need to know.
yeah, that's the other thing, dude. She like whispers in your ear, "Do it, Tekken, do it," and I was like, whoa, well, how am I supposed to say no to that? So,
And I was sort of like, I know you have to know, like I understand, but what? Wait, why are you putting this on me?
It's like, why don't you
yeah,
just
it's like,
do it then?
So that's what I said. I was like, whoa, why could Clementine do this? She's like standing right here. It's like, seriously. Thanks, Delta.
But yeah, I was like, I guess well, I think that was kind of cool. Like, I guess season 3 for me is also still about finding the reason to go on, and it was really cool because like season 3, you do have a reason throughout the whole thing.
Actually, that is cool because like it kind of is like revealed that like AJ is Clementine's reason, like why she keeps going.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
And I was like, oh, that was really awesome because, like, in season 2, it took me all of season 2 to realize that. So it was like me and Clementine came to the realization at the same time.
Tentacle's like vindicated. Suck it, RPG. I don't care what you say.
Oh,
Yeah,
this is so
like,
impactful.
me too. He's my reason too.
Just give me
really,
a
like,
reason, just a
all-
little reason.
All of season 2, I was really just like, why are we going through this? This isn't like, yay, we found another meal. We get to live a little bit longer. Yay, we found another meal. We get to live a little bit longer. All those people, the ice stuff and everything, like,
Yeah, the body count in season 2. And then the scene
they
with
did
Luke,
not
dude.
get what I
Bro.
did, so they
Ugh.
did not get to live a little longer. But it all seems like it goes back to that thing. It's like, we are the Walking Dead. Just like it just makes no sense anymore. And then I got to the end. It was like, and yeah, I was like, something clicked, and I was like, this is the reason. And then in season 3, like, she is questioning it at the end because she doesn't.
Yeah, that was great.
You didn't know.
She's like, I thought he'd
certain
finally be
things.
the one. And I was like, ow, why'd you say that? I'm so sad now, Clementine. Now I have to find him. Even after you go to the doctor.
I was just like, oh, that's what I was thinking. This is so cool. And it's so awesome to be able to see this from another side and like be able to help her in this way. Like, I guess for me, narratively, it would feel weird if she just came up with another reason on her own. And like, if this season had starred her as well, then it'd just be like, it took me all of season 2 to figure this out, and you could just do that at the beginning of season 3. So yeah, like, I thought that was really cool. I was like, oh man, I was unsure, like, new characters and all this, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. But then playing through, it's like, oh, that's what they could do with that. It's like, this is awesome. Like, this season 3 was so good. And then just having the results scenes at the end where, like, sort of...
Yeah, for each character, too. That was great.
Yeah. I was just like, oh.
To see, like, the dovetailing of the choices of, like,
Yeah,
it does
it
matter.
was- And then another thing that really bugged me while I was playing it was every episode started with like a flashback from before
Oh, yeah.
before it all went down.
Before it all went down,
And I was
Hottie.
like, just like, why?
Yeah.
But
But then
got
you
to
find
like
out when the final
the
episode.
father one, I
Yeah,
was
dude.
like, oh,
He's like,
wow.
promise me. That was some The Godfather stuff right there.
Like, this is so great.
But then I was able to keep my promise. I was like, yes, yeah, I did it.
Me too.
Being a Paragon
It's
pays
like-
off.
At the message when it popped up at the end,
Yep.
I was like,
I was like, yep.
you have no idea how much this means to me. I'd like to thank.
So did you kill the Dr. Todd, or did you let him live?
No, yeah, we needed to find out.
It's like, well, obviously.
That's great.
And so I was like, all right, this is for her. Like, we kind of owe her. And I feel like we've sort of developed a connection. Like, there were really rocky patches, and there was some stuff that if I could take back or if circumstances had been different, like, I would not have done those things or let those things happen to her. And it was just like, I will do this for you, meaning Clementine. But I do not care so much about this doctor.
See, now I'm like hoping that like in season 4,
The real question is though,
that
did he in
you know,
fact have the info you
yeah,
needed?
that's what I'm hoping. Is like in season 4, it's like the intel is like actually like legit, and then people that didn't kill him, it's like go off yourselves because Tekken was right. Suck it.
Oh wait,
You don't get-
the payoff doesn't happen
tropical.
during season 3.
Wait, what RPG?
So the payoff doesn't happen during season 3.
Well, the thing is like, oh, okay, well I can't say what happens RPG, could be like a
Yeah.
minor spoiler, but like stuff
Oh.
goes down, and like you don't. Like you're left in suspense of like
You don't get to follow up on it, basically.
Is it not? Yeah, pretty much. So it's
There's things that you don't know, and then so knowing even a little is sort of a resolution, and then also leaves open.
Oh.
You know,
Well-
like, it's gonna happen.
For you guys, I'll just not kill him, so then that way we'll know.
I think either way, you get it.
We'll find out, won't we? We'll find out. Because I'm going to make him suffer. Like, hey, so this is how this works, sir. You don't want to give me the intel? Well, guess what? You're going to stay alive. 2 of us can play this game. You want to die. So, hey, I'll leave you alive. I'll leave you alive. The worst
there was-
punishment.
You know, one of my considerations was also like, the doctor is a friend of your guy, so it's sort of like, if the doctor is gone,
yeah,
then
that's what I was
there's,
talking about
like,
during the trial scene. I was like, well,
less-
there's one less person to be in our defense here, isn't there? Whoops.
So, I want to ask, and hopefully it will make sense, because it's going to be really vague. What did you do after the trial?
I chose who I wanted to stay, and therefore bad things happened to them.
Oh.
No, that's part of the trial. Like, what happened
Oh, after.
after?
Oh, I know what you're saying. I didn't take the shot. I really wanted to though, and I was like, man,
I
man,
did.
you monster.
Yes, Tropical. Join the dark side. We have cookies.
So, was it a lethal or non-lethal?
It was really messy.
Oh,
So that means lethal.
yeah, because like I just like
Messy
the
is
part
not
where like because I like the way I had it me and Gamerhead, 'cause, like we both didn't shoot, so it's like it leaves you in suspense as far as like it's kind of like the same thing of like the brothers in the farm of like you don't see them die, but you assume that they didn't make it. So it's like,
Oh, I saw mine die.
so it's like
Oh, I saw them.
So like stuff goes down.
no, like you just like you have no idea like where their whereabouts are. It's just like it leaves you in like a whole like did they not, are they still at large, who knows? And it's like, man, I should have shot that effer. So
It's one
Well,
of my
so
guys.
like when I did what I did, it quickly goes south. Did that not happen then?
it did actually. Just chaos just ensues it pretty much
Okay.
Regardless.
regardless.
LOLs. But yeah, the guy on the farm had a pitchfork and I'm pretty sure he was dead. Plus,
I'm
Kinda
gonna love
cute.
hearing RPG stories like, well, my Clementine. Let me tell you.
well, in
She doesn't take
mine.
anything from anybody. I didn't have to tell her to shoot. She shot before I could tell her. It was great.
It's like, I didn't even have to choose
I
it.
mean, we weren't
the game
ready for the
automatically
firefight then.
game just
Shoot,
automatically
but-
did it. The game was like, no, we already know what's happening. We know. It's like, exactly. We're not playing this game, guys. This is a zombie apocalypse. I can't take chances.
Yeah, it was
Letting strangers into his safe haven. What is wrong with you?
well, it's fun like when there's the big decisions, like you get to hear all the shouting of like the people who are like backing either side. And one of them stood out to me from the guy who was up there. And I was like, all right, let's do this. and it was like whoopah, and then
Mistakes were made.
There is a lot more people with guns here than I thought.
One of those situations. Wait, is there a Mexican standoff? I love those.
Wait a minute. Oh wait, so wait. Actually, now I'm confused because so the stuff that happens at the trial I was talking about, does that still happen in yours, or does it not happen? Since you...
It does, because you don't
Because that was
you
after
don't
the
get
part?
to choose that until after the
Okay.
trial.
I was wondering, like...
So you do the trial.
I was
and
unsure of the sequence of, like, if you do that, does it, like, disrupt that part, and then it doesn't happen at all, but I guess I was wrong. And it happens no matter what. But yeah, that whole part on that one was, like, if the way they made you do the choice, I was, like, so mad. I was so angry. Especially because, like, that person that like bad things happened to, she in a flashback sequence told my Clementine something like really emotional, and I'm like, ooh, she won't be able to follow up with that, will she? Dun 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 dun.
Actually, so I knew that stuff was not right during that part, so I sort
See,
of
Gamer did too, and I was like, dude, I must just
I
not
was
be able
like-
to read people or something, even in video game
You are
form.
terrible at reading people.
because
And
like
I feel
because of
hook, line, and
what
sinker into it.
happened before that, I was just already like, yeah, right. It was like, fine, I choose that one. Sorry, that one.
Sorry, no.
But you know, you're how you are. You should be okay with this. I don't know how anyone is ever okay with that, but
Hey, that person from season 1, did she ever like show up again in later seasons?
Nope.
The one that stole the RV?
No.
no.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's still some loose ends out there.
Yeah,
In fact,
her
I feel like
the lady from the first episode of season 2, Krista.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Krista's MIA too. What if they're together? What if they were in cahoots this entire time?
Oh, also what was it? The Crawford lady that like was ringing the bells. She never shows up again.
Oh right, the one that was like parkouring all over the place.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
But yeah,
So
after she shot that person in the face, she's all like, haha, stealing your RV, never gonna see me again. Deuces. Jerk.
there's like so you must have seen the same scene as I did on the bridge with the other one
Yeah.
in season 3, right?
According to Gamer, it's pretty similar. Well, no, it's a different scene I saw because he told me what happened with that scenario, but in mine, because I had the other person, they kind of have like a last stand scenario, and it's like, oh well, we couldn't do anything, but you know, whatever. Different scene,
Mine-
same outcome.
Mine results in sort of this off-screen death, and I was like, that doesn't count.
That's what Gamer says. He's just like, it's
I
out of
mean,
nowhere, and it's so stupid.
Yeah, I was like, even though it's unlikely, you know, survival in that situation is unlikely, I feel like since, like, why wasn't the death shown? Like, the deaths are always shown, so
That's true.
this is not resolved. And then even, like, in the end credits when it showed, like, deceased for that character, I was like,
I don't believe it.
you're lying to us,
That's true.
Telltale.
Because knowing
Someday
Telltale,
just
they
gonna be
will
like,
come back.
Surprise!
Yeah.
That actually is a good point because even Kenny pulled a whole "I thought you were dead" in season 2. That was man.
I mean, I guess the only difference is they never explicitly said that Kenny is
was
dead.
deceased,
So it's just
yeah.
like hearsay from characters who can see off screen, but you can't.
Because that's true. I mean, because you can. Because I mean, even like, because I think that's like one of the plot points in the show actually too. It's like if you don't
See a body.
see
I was
them
like,
die,
off
then it's
screen
like don't.
count.
Yeah, it's like unless you can see their head explode, it's like yeah, you do not
I
assume they're dead.
You.
That means
Like
Kenny could be alive. He might come back.
Well, mine definitely isn't because
Oh,
I
man,
saw
we're gonna
him
have a
die.
reunion. It's gonna be me, Kenny, and AJ, season 4. I can feel it.
Could you imagine just like, Kenny, seriously, why don't you just die already? It's
Actually, I did say,
how'd
like, at the end of season 2, I was like, dude, you need help. You're dangerous. So I might be like, peace out, dude. We don't need you. But if he's like, that could be a really bad scenario, 'cause he might be like, actually, I'm not going to let you leave. And it could be a whole Stockholm Syndrome situation where it's like, oh, I guess we'll just ride it out with Kenny again, like every other time. Nothing's ever gone bad with this. But,
why
there
do
are
you
times
keep
to
trusting
charm.
him? He's clearly like unhinged. Like, I don't understand your logic.
Hey, man, he led us to a boat. He led us to Wellington. He just has, like, a good sense of, you know, it may not
Insanity?
seem sensical,
Yeah.
but it'll work out, and it works out. Maybe, kind of, sort of. Or as much as it can in the Walking Dead universe, because nothing ever works out.
Because like he's clearly like, I mean, like he just doesn't show signs of being well adjusted like in any of the seasons. He's very like
He is
there's a
the
word for-
prototypical, like, his heart is in the right place, but he's like, yeah.
he just takes it too far. I think because he latches onto things like super hard. It's like everything. I mean, I guess I can understand with like his wife and dog because there was his wife and his kid. But I mean, it's like with this girl in season 2, I just like, why do you even care? You probably met her like 2 weeks ago. Like, keep in mind you were married when I met you, so you know, just throwing that out there. But then he's all like, oh no, whatever your name is. I actually forgot her name, so I don't remember what it was before I like chopped off her arm and got her killed. But he was just like, oh no,
It
I'm so
started
sad.
with an S.
Sarita, it was Sarita.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow, I like how we
she's
all
dead.
chopped her arm off.
Well,
I mean, I guess we were
mean-
trying to save her, so you know.
The thing
Oh,
is,
well,
like,
no, I did it out of spite.
It would have worked if the other stuff didn't happen.
It's true. It's like based on what I've seen in the show, it is possible to survive.
Yeah, like
provided-
that. If you're gonna do it, that's the time to do it.
But I actually just did it out of spite because I didn't like her.
Like,
but I
it would have
mean,
worked.
I pretended like it was because I wanted to save
we were
her.
not wrong there.
I was like, Kenny, I'm only doing this because I want her to live. I want you to die. But no, because she was kind of annoying, and she was always like getting in. I think that's part of the reason too. She was always getting in the way with Kenny. Like, I feel like if she wasn't around, Kenny would have been a bit less psychotic. And I was like, well, I
He would
tried.
not be alive. I'm pretty sure.
You think so?
Yeah, he would have.
Yeah. Then again, based on his behavior, yeah, he probably wouldn't have.
At some point, he would have been like, no more.
He's way too. He's too obsessive about everything. He's kind of cuckoo banana pants. Because even once she dies, he immediately latches onto the baby, and now he's like, "Oh, this is my new safety blanket." And then he goes insane about that. And Jane's like, "Hey, remember when I told you this guy was cuckoo banana pants? Yeah, this guy's cuckoo banana pants."
Well, at that point, I was looking out for the safety of the baby, and I was like, well, Kenny has more experience with this, and he seems to
Heckin'
like
F
the
the
baby.
baby.
He's obsessed.
The baby doesn't. It's only been alive for like a day. It doesn't know life. It doesn't matter if it dies, but the rest of us do. We've tasted life, Doc. We all tasted life. We know how great it can be.
Wow.
So why, in the hottest of hells, would we sacrifice ourselves for that thing? Jay had the right idea. Show you what the crazy ones are, and then kind of go from there.
Babies are
'Cause-
sacred RPG. What are you talking about?
Babies are trouble because in a zombie apocalypse, they cry. You can't shut them up. You're now zombie food. But you know what? You tell a person to shut the hell up, and they'll shut the hell up. Just can't do that to a baby.
That part was just so insane to me. Like, it starts out, and Clementine is like, it's just like, what the heck happened? How did you get here? Like, why are you here? Where's everyone?
It's like, what is life right now? What is life?
And man, but it worked really well. It's just like you're introduced to her, and she's like basically awesome, and you're just like, oh my gosh, who are you? And then,
Oh yeah, because she saves you. That was pretty awesome.
yeah, it's just like, this is insane.
And she's like, I got
I
this.
cannot believe this is happening. Yeah.
And she says like an apple and like a shotgun. And like, psh, yeah, I do this every day, whatever.
Yeah. It's like,
Another day in the week.
I am kind of glad you turned out this way, but I have no idea how this happened.
Like I'm also slightly terrified.
It's like, so we finally learned to work solo. Apparently, it only took 3 seasons.
Like, it's hard to like how much time has passed. It's like,
too.
what the heck happened?
Who did this to you? Who hurt you? Lee did. But I shot him, so it's fine.
Wow.
Oh, all right, I forgot. You guys didn't. Your Lee. You guys didn't kill your Lee. Weird.
Yeah, my rule is that I have adopted is I do not shoot them until they've turned RPG. So you know, i.e., not the lady in the parking lot like Tropical just shot in the face, like because
She had it coming.
Wait, in the parking lot?
or whatever there was.
She's talking about the
motel. It was a parking lot of a motel, same place, whatever.
Oh,
In all fairness, if he didn't do it, she was going to do it anyway. So, I mean, he was doing her a favor.
I took her burden.
Because he had to
I mean,
continue living in this horrible world. She's free now.
She wasn't gonna hold that burden for very long because of what she was gonna do to herself. But I just felt like I will do this for you.
See, that was the thing that like threw me off with the doctor. That was like it seemed like he just wanted you to OD him, and I was like, okay, whatever, I just inject him. But then it's like, oh wait, you have to deal with what comes next. I was like, wait a minute, no, I wasn't thinking that far ahead. I just wanted the end though. Now I have to murder this person. I can't even.
Technically, he's already dead. So, I mean.
But he hadn't turned yet RPG. That's my rule. They made me break my rule. I feel like Batman, if he killed somebody, I broke my rule.
I'm pretty sure Batman's killed people before he just hides it.
I'm pretty sure Batman can't murder a corpse either.
See? It's like, once they're dead, I mean...
I guess you have a point. If he had OD'd, and then he was going to die anyway, yeah, it's fine. He would have turned anyway, so I was just preventing him from turning at that point, so yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I totally. I mean, I may have killed him, but he's going to turn. So it's like I saved all the people in that city, even though it was overrun.
Actually, I was gonna let him turn. That was the part I was gonna do. I was like, hang on. So if we do this for you, you get what you want, and we get the info, and we get what we want. But then someone's gonna find this body and be like, look. These people are evil. They killed your doctor. And then, so that's not good. So, wait, is this whole place screwed? I think this whole place is screwed. Like, there's a lot of people who seem to be totally okay with raiding other, like, doing the bad things that they're doing. So, maybe we should just let him turn afterwards. It's not like he's going to know. And then, let the havoc begin. And then we will restore order and like build a new society. That's how this stuff goes down.
Well, that's just dark.
So then, when it came time to like finish what you started, so to say, I didn't push anything, and Clementine steps in, and I was like, come on, that wasn't the plan at all. I mean, I didn't tell you what the plan was.
I just wanted to say, it's like, I assumed you knew what I was planning. It's like, that's not how this works.
So...
That's actually even more tropical, because at least my Clementine's hands are clean, so take that.
I mean, even if Clementine if she killed a walker, her hand's still clean. It's not the same thing.
Hadn't turned yet, you broke the rule.
I disagree. Because, yeah.
Well, you would disagree, person who shot your savior in the face in the first season.
Hey, he was turning.
Hadn't turned yet.
He was gone.
Well, in that one, you are asking someone else to do it.
Yeah, you're in that position that you're in.
Yeah, you are the person lying on the ground.
I mean, they didn't have any intel for you, but same scenario, pretty much.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing that gave me pause with the doctor. It was just like, it was about like Javier's stance. It's like, if we do this, like, we will be in more trouble. It was like, unless we can do just half of it.
I mean, in all fairness, Tropical's plan is pretty clean when you think about it. It's like, because everybody already expects walkers to cause trouble, so it's like, oh no, it's a walker, so we should not suspect anything, any foul play had happened.
Oh no, the doctor OD'd because he was druggy. Everyone knew this.
Yeah, so then it's just like, well, guess we have to deal with the cleanup now because
druggy behavior is now going to screw the entire community because one, we don't have a doctor, and two, whoever found him is also going to get it, probably.
Because they don't know that he is in fact a walker now. Oh no.
They'll be in for like a runny nose, and then, oh no, my nose! And then
it's like,
too.
It's like, doctor, I have this weird pain in my, oh my god, there's pain everywhere now. And then it's just like, it starts to spread, and somebody else comes in and just like, oh, is there a party in the doctor's office? Oh my god, this is not a party. And then it's like somebody else walks in and it's just like, oh, hey, why is everybody in a doctor's, oh my god, why is everyone in a doctor's office? And it just...
Then you go to the trial, it's like, well, it wasn't me. He OD'd. He's the druggie. Everyone knew this.
Basically.
And everyone be like, yeah.
Like, it's true. I mean, it was bound to happen eventually. I mean, look at the guy. Look at him. Or, I mean... We could look at him if we didn't blow his brains out, because, you know, Walker. But, you know, look at him. So, yeah. I mean, yeah, I kind of on board with that plan.
It doesn't, you don't get to do it.
I kind of figured.
Like, you can think it in your mind, but you never get to do it, which is a shame.
It's fine. When the real zombie apocalypse event eventually happens, we'll be able to test it out.
Not that it was going to be a fair trial anyway, so whatever. Yeah, that's what I thought at that part. It's just like, oh yeah, this is going to be fair. It's like, right. I tried to defend myself with evidence.
It's like, who does that?
Whatever. It doesn't matter what we say. And so yeah, my strategy there was like, you're not speaking to the judge and jury. You were speaking to the people. It's like internet debating. You're not trying to change the mind of the other person. You're trying to change the mind of everyone who doesn't have an opinion yet. And I think we did pretty well.
Even though you shot first,
it turned out okay. I didn't shoot first. I shot
Oh, that's
last.
right, you didn't. That's right.
All right, Han.
I shot last. Well, that was a long one. It's a good thing we don't have much news.
Right?
Telltale, like, I think we could go on and on about talking about this one, because it was...
Partially
like,
because
after
of
playing
how
it, I'm just like...
different we each play.
Yeah, like, The Walking Dead is, I think, my favorite one, because one... Or, no, it's just like... I feel like it's easy to understand. And it may be because of the times we live in. And I'm not referring to Darkest Timeline, just like zombies being really popular. Like, a lot of people have thought about what you do in the zombie apocalypse. So it's sort of, you know, with Game of Thrones, like, I've never thought about what I would do if I was in a really crappy political type drama.
High fantasy world.
Yeah.
It's like, this is odd.
But then, you know, zombie apocalypse, like, I've kind of, I think everyone at this point has thought about it. It's like,
because like you have to have your plans.
yeah, like I kept thinking, for some reason during season 3, when I was not thinking about sort of the really emotional, dramatic stuff, I was thinking about, you know, maybe today, before the zombie apocalypse, we should come up with a system for people to like mark their stuff in a way that it's, and I hadn't really figured it out, but it's like, mark it in such a way that people know when it's okay for them to take it.
It's like free stuff.
It's like, if I, it's like, I don't know how you would do it, like a timer or something, and it'd just be like, if 3 days have passed on this timer, we are probably dead. So go ahead and take everything.
It's like take all my stuff.
And we can't stop you from taking it before, except for that sort of unspoken rule we came up with back before the zombie apocalypse happened. Aren't you glad we came up with that honor code back then?
Yeah, it could be like 3 suns, like each sun is a sunrise. So it's like, it's been 3 days, we're not going back, you can have it.
Yeah. It's
Like dead inside, don't open.
We should come up with the system now. 'Cause once the zombie apocalypse happens, like, you're not going to be able to communicate it with everyone. And right now, we still have Twitter.
I mean, I'm sure Twitter will still be up for like the first parts of the apocalypse before the infrastructure is gone.
Hours before everyone has exhausted their batteries, filming the first zombie, or what they think is the first zombie sighting. Basically. And it's like there's like 1 million zombie sightings on Twitter. You're at 40%. Oh, power's out forever. I hope you have extra batteries.
I in fact do not have extra batteries.
If this weren't the other darkest timeline, we might have solar by then. ...
Darkest timeline.
You can take your phone out and be like, sun, buck tie, sun is in my hands, charge it style, yes.
So many more things. We should probably do the stuff at some point. But man, I was upset that they didn't do the thing where everyone starts in a different place, but this was a good season.
They also didn't do the thing. Well, I guess well, I mean, it says unbitten on mine, so maybe she can get bitten, but we don't know for a fact that that's a possibility. But they didn't do the thing you suspected of. They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it.
Dun dun dun.
It's so funny too. Like every episode in the season, I was like thinking, they're gonna do this time. They're gonna do this time. I was like, no, tropical.
Like in her,
tropical called it now.
Are there any like points where she could get bitten though?
There's yeah, often. I mean, this is the world.
Well, I meant like when you're like around, like in their like dramatic set piece moments where it's just like, oh, okay, you could totally get bitten in this moment. I mean, obviously you're at the risk of getting bitten anytime with the zombie apocalypse. But I meant like,
actually, with the way the epilogue is, I don't think it's a possibility.
Yeah.
Unless it is like a Mass Effect 2 thing where it's like your game ends there. It's like your series is over. No more season for you, or no season 4 for you.
I do think that they will kill her at some point.
They have to. You invested so much time in her.
I think that's the most impactful thing that they can do.
But now everybody's expecting it, so they can't.
I don't think people are. Well, maybe if people are expecting it. I think. Well, I'm the only person I've heard of predicting that Clementine will die at some point, because, like, she's the perfect candidate for that now. They have made this character that is so beloved that, that we may hate them forever, but it's gonna be like.
Well, no, I kind of said they would kill her off.
Story.
Especially once Tekken said that they started you off with a different character. I was just like, oh, yeah, she's gonna die.
Super like. It's like, who's this hobby person? Who cares about him? Give me back to Clementine. And they're switching back and forth. I was like, oh man, is it going to end on Javi and she's going to die? I was like super freaking out.
They're gonna do it, but it's not gonna be. It's gonna have to be in like closer to like whatever the final season's gonna be. So then that way, it's like you think she's safe because it's like, well, we've gotten this far, and I was paranoid, but she's been fine this time. But then they're just like, LOLs, LOLs, we're killing her.
I'm not really sure when it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen next season.
Like I'm thinking if season 3 had been sort of, you play Clementine and it's like it would have basically been season 2, and it's sort of the same problem that the show has, where the show, like, it's basically the same thing happens over and over again.
So it's like if they like do it, it might run risk of being too much like season one, where it's like you play as Clementine and AJ's there, but then like when like she dies, and then you just end up playing as AJ for the next season or something.
Well, I mean, not necessarily that. Just like the whole. I feel like the scenario easily could have just been basically the same thing that always happens. You're out there surviving, you meet some people, you're sort of wary of them, but then, stuff goes down and like you guys make it out together and that sort of bonds you, and then you go find more people, and then one of those people is a bad apple, and then everything falls apart, and then you do the thing again. And it's like, that's sort of what happens in TV series. Like, they find a place, it's nice for a little while, and then there's a little bit of drama, and then it becomes something that cannot be resolved, and then people die, stuff goes down, and like it just like the whole thing breaks down again. And it's like, well,
it's part of the reason why I stopped watching the TV show, because it is the same thing every season. Because it's like they find their safe haven, then it's like LOLs, and then
everything it's like, we're gonna protect it, or this time we'll protect it right, and it'll be like kind of different, but they're also the same people, so they can't really be that different.
True.
And then inevitably. You think it's going well, inevitably something goes wrong, and then, it's not saying it's predictable, because, like, sometimes the thing that goes wrong is, like, I could not have seen that coming, but it's still the same pattern. Like, stuff goes down. It's like, So, I think if they hadn't done this, where it's sort of totally out of left field, hey, new characters entirely, it would have been like, wow. So Clementine has to go through another one of these, and then another one of these, and another one of these, and we'll just keep doing it until ratings go down or whatever, and then it's like, well, Clementine's gonna die, and they'll tease it, and then it happens, and everyone will play that one.
Because they're like the shocking conclusion. The shocking conclusion.
The farewell episode.
No, I think it's going to actually happen before any type of finale.
Yeah, I think that's why. Season 3 gives me hope that that's what's going to happen. Season 3 is like, it worked out really well by using another character and doing all this stuff. It's like, yeah, this was the way to do season 3. And it turned out amazing, and I was like, wow, that was really good. I was not expecting that. And then, that means they know what they're doing. It's gonna be good whenever it happens.
Or they're gonna like do something they did with this season, where they just like build a bunch of like secondary characters, and then there's like a season where it's like Game of Thrones, where it's like you can play a different character, or you're always playing like a different character, so it's like you don't know who's saved. And then it lands on Clementine, and like she's in like really bad spot, and it's like, this is it, it's gonna happen. And they do it, and like, no.
Or even worse, they put you in
all your favorite characters that are not Clementine. It's like, no. So it's like either way, it's a lose.
Because what they could do is like have it where it's like when they shift you from a different character, it's like that character's perspective seeing her die instead of you actually being in her shoes when it happens.
Oh yeah, that'd be worse.
Because they're like, now you can do nothing but watch as she dies horribly.
Or do the episode 5 thing in the Game of Thrones, which you haven't played yet, RPG, which I wish I could talk about, but I can't talk about because you haven't played it.
Sorry.
I kind of think I had at some point in this season 3, there's like a moment of like, are they gonna do that? Are they gonna do that? Is that? But then Toto doesn't usually like repeat the same trick twice. So I was like, that's not happening. That's not happening. So yeah.
I'm going to mention briefly that I've played a little bit of Paragon, not as much as usual, and I'm very sorry that I was thinking about Walking Dead, and so missed all those shots. And
Thanks.
RPG
It's fine.
just-
It's fine. I didn't need
It
the
was
support
not even
anyway.
close.
It's like I didn't need the support at all. It's like she had no health, Tropical. She had no health.
It was so funny. I
could've
fired like
scatter
4
shots.
times and missed every single time. No, I could not because it was on cooldown.
Oh my gosh, you are the worst. You are the worst. Because I'm like running around. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. But he's not gonna help me. And it's like, of course, she has like no health.
Just was not succeeding at all. It was awful.
Because there's way too many minions for me to like try to focus on fighting her at the same time. And I was like, maybe Tropical to get it. He's standing right next to us, so there's no way this could like end horribly. And it did end horribly. It did, guys. It did.
Z podcasts. I am focused on you.
Worst teammate ever.
Can't wait for season 4.
Season 3.
Yeah. Walking Dead is really like my favorite of all of them. Even Wolf Among Us and Tales of the Borderlands. Like those are fun, but
Among Us, we still
after
haven't even gotten to
finishing
season
them,
2.
it wasn't like more. I was just like, that was cool.
Yeah, man. The hooks they put in on at the end of season 3, because I was kind of down on season 3, and then man, the way they climaxed.
I cannot.
It's really cool because like it didn't let me just like see what happens with Clementine, because like the way they leave it, it makes me want to like see what happens with the other characters in like that place that they're in, because it's like, oh, are they gonna come back here? Is it gonna build from this? What's gonna happen? And like the end cards, it's like, oh, so maybe they're gonna develop everybody, not just Clementine, and maybe she'll be back, and there'll be more adventures with them, with these people.
The end cards were so good. I was just like, I saw them, I was like, oh, I love this, and it was like heartfelt, distant. It was like, I don't think that's an accurate description. I mean, there was definitely something there, but it was like, I mean,
my playthrough, that was a completely
you're a
one-sided
family.
relationship. Because she was cray-cray and trying to get me killed by her husband.
It wasn't cray in mine.
Well, she wasn't cray-cray, but like she was just like summoning the drama llama at every point of like, Javi, I think we should leave. Javi, I love you. Javi, kiss me. It's like, whoa, lady, we're in the zombie apocalypse, and game face on. I need you to focus here because I don't want to die.
I just got 3 people.
Even though you
By myself. Thanks, team. Thanks.
So then, like, when, like, oh man, so I'm not gonna say what happened, but like when the thing at the end of episode 4 happened, I was like, well, that was very abrupt. What just happened? I was like, did they just do that? But then they didn't, because I was like, that'd be super bummered out for people that pursued their romance, and I was like, oh, they didn't. So,
Oh yeah.
but if I was like one of those people, I'd been like, oh no, what happened? I gotta find out. So yeah, that was a good cliffhanger for those guys, I guess, but not for me.
That didn't really cross my mind. It went, and then it went, and then that thing happened, and I was like, it's an armored truck. And like, I was thinking that, it was just like, yeah! I was like, oh, right. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe, I don't know.
But then where it was at,
back.
Tropical, was
See?
very
Armored
not a good place to be in when it got there.
Armored truck.
I didn't even think about the armor truck thing. I was just like, that was a very bad crash. I mean, I guess the effects kind of sold it with the sound.
I mean, armored trucks are kind of useless in the apocalypse, except for like if you're actually in them, they can't hold anything useful because it's just money. What are you going to do with money in a zombie apocalypse? Nothing. Nothing. That's what.
Yeah, that part, like, there were a few parts where, I think 2 parts where I pushed the button and then pushed it and I was like, oh, and then you said the thing, and because it's not exactly what's written, and I was like, that is not really what I meant. That's overly harsh. Come on now. But it was too late. All right, let's hear about this kind of Valkyria thingy, but sort of not, but kind of is.
Well, I didn't play a lot of it. I mean, I just got to chapter 2. And there's a lot of talk about a Valkyria that they call the Reaper, but said Valkyria has yet to make an appearance. So, but I'm guessing since all this talk is happening, she's obviously going to show up because otherwise it's like, well, what's the point of talking about somebody who's not here? So we shall see how that goes. But
Voldemort. What?
What? Yeah, I'm guessing it's that thing that's like floating around the king guy, because there's like a thing that's dressed in like a skull mask and
That is weird.
it's all ominous looking. So I'm guessing that that might be her just in costume, I guess, until she reveals herself because reasons, I guess. I don't know.
Chung.
But it's weird. I don't know why she have the need to hide themselves, because it's like in the Valkyria universe, Valkyria are pretty they're basically gods. So they're not really needs to hide when you're as powerful as that. But who knows? Who even knows? I started playing around with like the customization stuff, so I can like kind of check out the priorities and stuff in battle. So I've just been doing that for some of the characters and everything. And they have the class system is still in place from the previous games, but it's like they just use different classes because of the slightly different alternate use of the Ragnites in this universe. So they have like sappers instead of engineers or something like that, I think it's called. And they have they kind of like function like the engineers except for personnel characters, basically.
A sapper?
They're called sappers because they use alchemy more readily than the other character. Well, alchemy is the name of the magic in this world because of the Ragnite thing and stuff. And yeah, but they're called sappers. So like anytime they use items or something, it has like an increased effect and things like that. So you kind of want to give all your or you want to like change into them whenever you're about to use like a disposal consumable item, so that way it'll have increased effect on the characters or you and things like that. And then then the shield bearers make a return from Valkyria Chronicles 2, who were like the fencers or something, and they had like the shields that protect them from the front, and then they have the heavy weapons that they usually use, which are devastating to any type of character that decides to run up against them. And then the shock troopers and scouts return too, but like since melee weapons, then the scouts use like regular swords, and then the shock troopers use like heavy giant great sword thingies. So yeah, there's that. I guess the shield bearers. Oh no, because they had lancers in Valkyria Chronicles 2. So yes. But yeah, it's like I said, I haven't played too far. I was gonna play some more today, but then Game of Thrones was out, and I was like, oh, I should probably play a few episodes of this, and then realize how long they were, and then I was like, well, this is fine. And
there's more of them.
I just about to say, I was like, because when I was downloading it, it was just like, oh, episode 6 now available. I was like, there's 6 of these. It's gonna take forever. So yeah, that's something to look forward to, I guess. He said. So yeah, we will see how that goes, and yeah, we'll see. There's that other game I want to get that's coming out in mid-July, so I'll have to put the gears on.
Or Zodiac?
Yeah, because that looks cool.
The Zodiac Kids.
The Zodiac Kids.
Is that even playing RPG?
Yep. I mean, I played some Paragon, but yeah.
I saw your tweet. So it was weird. Like, I played a game against a Shimbi, and then that notification popped up that she had been disabled because she was like
broken or something.
Yeah.
I was sad.
What did they do?
I was like, the troll team has been disassembled because I can't use my character. And I'm not sure why they had to disable her, though. I don't understand, unless it was something that messed up when...
Yeah, I think it was some
introduced.
sort of like bug that made her more powerful than she was supposed to be. Like something was doing more damage. I don't know.
But all her attacks do scratch damage.
Because she was tearing it up, and we're like, "What is happening?" And then like we got out. It's like Shimbi has been disabled. It's like, maybe that.
It's just like there was a bug. I didn't get to play as God Shimbi. No. No. Although when I use her, she's usually pretty good at tearing people apart. So
how has your Wraith play been?
it kind of depends on the team, I've noticed. Because there's been some games where I've done really well with him, and then there's other games where I've done just not great because the team isn't like team working.
Yeah.
So it's like he kind of relies on team work in order to work properly. So if I don't have that, then I'm basically just kind of screwed.
I'm pretty sure he's a support character, but like it doesn't seem like people know that.
He can, and well, I mean, he can mid lane.
Well, yeah, but like mid lane, when you play as him, you have to be support. So it's hard to like kill the other mid laner with him. If it's like one of the like heavy casters, but then you can pretty easily use Wraith to like run to the left or right side and like really help them gank someone, because people aren't playing careful enough against him. It seems like people they're still trying to do the exact same strategies, but with Wraith, like you can't wait quite as long to retreat, because if you do, then he just pulls you back and is like, oh shoot. So you have to like retreat earlier, so he can't pull you back.
Yeah, it's been kind of all over the place. Yeah, it really depends. I've seen it's like if your team is not like helping, then you're just screwed. Because I can set up kills and stuff for people, but then I've had people just completely just miss it like completely, and then they're just like, sorry. I was like, you should be, because that was perfect. There's no reason you should have missed that. But it happens, I guess. It happens when new characters are out. There's some growing pains.
Okay, one last thing before I move on to the middle segment, which is that I was playing Destiny, and then like everybody else was playing Killing Floor 2, and then I forgot what we were talking about or what the topic was, but Zephyr said something, and it basically is like the reason I don't play PvP games or game modes anymore. It was basically like someone either had said it or he read it in a forum or something, or it was like their attitude, and it was like he's like, "There's no fun. There's only victory." I was like, that perfectly encapsulates why I no longer care about playing PvP game modes and game types anymore. It's only about winning to those people. Who cares about having fun? Whatever. And it's even more fun when they win, but when they don't, oh man, watch out, because they're gonna go nuclear with their meltdown of like rage, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? It's like, dude, shut up. It's just a game.
I love raging.
Raging Raven, Metal Slide 4.
I guess it depends on
Rage.
maybe you're.
I'll show you everything.
I have like, because I don't think I'm good at games, so losing is just like whatever. There is only fun.
Like a true loser.
Otherwise, there's nothing to play. I
Just
appreciate mechanics.
I never really understood why people get so like hyper competitive and stuff. Like I think I'm like tropical. Like I like when I play stuff, it's like it's for fun and to like enjoy the various mechanics and see the thing that the developers do. It's like if you happen to be good at it, then it's like, oh, that's a bonus. But it's not like, oh my god, we have to win everything. What's going on? Why is everybody just It's like, hey, how about you calm the hell down?
I like mechanics. Mechanics are interesting to me.
How about you calm the hell down?
I think the competitive mode, by its nature, brings out competitive people and their competitiveness. That does that to them.
I think I am competitive, and yet well, I'm competitive, but I also don't care that much, which is sort of weird.
That seems like an oxymoron, Tropical.
Yeah.
Just to throw it out there.
Because I play this, and it's like Paragon is highly competitive, and like I want to do better than other people, and yet when it doesn't happen, I'm just like, oh well, on to the next one.
So yeah, this week's weekly topic is about Nintendo's yearly E3 game. So last year with the Switch, they showed off, wow, I almost said Twilight Princess, Breath of the Wild, Zelda, and that was their big thing at E3 was like that one game and Switch, and then that was like their whole thing of like Breath of the Wild. This is our one game at our booth, and the Switch isn't amazing. It's coming out at launch, and then they showed something with like Mario Odyssey, blah blah blah. Like yeah, we're working on it, dudes. And then this year it was like Mario Odyssey, the one game to rule them all, and everybody lost their shit, and it was amazing. They're like, you can throw the hat on the thing, and you're the thing, and it's like, oh man, and it does the thing, and you can jump, and there's no game over, and you can just, and they just like gushed all over, and everybody, or I'm sorry, I said that backwards. They were just like showing their Mario all out there, and people just gushed all over it, just like when they had all their Zelda out there, and or Link and Zelda out there, and people just gushed all over Breath of the Wild. And then it came out, and then the same thing that apparently is like looking to happen now, because people are just like, oh man, Mario Odyssey, E3. It's just like, oh man, the lines, and now the public can access it, so it's like, yeah, that's always going to be like a line for the Nintendo booth. Have fun with that, E3 people. So you know.
Gamer.
And then on deck, I think is how they say it, is like next year. They said Pokemon game in the works. So you know, we don't know what the game is going to be for next year, but it could be Pokemon, it could be something else. Maybe we don't know. But usually, I mean, that's what I'm saying is like, you know, they have said or spoken about the game that is at the next E3 that is their game. So I'm saying, or that's like this week's weekly topic is like, what is Nintendo's game at E3 next year, and is this going to be their format going forward of like just like the one thing that they showed, and then they're just like, it's done, it's coming out this year, kind of like the Bethesda style, which is pretty cool because it's like, you know, that one thing from Nintendo that's coming out that year that you know is going to be super awesome because all their games are like AAA anyway, so it doesn't matter as far as quality. I don't know how their production cost, but every time it's a Nintendo game, you know, you're ready for a 5-star, 10 out of 10 because man, they're pretty good with their magical science of making games.
What's pretty crazy with Nintendo is that they have games that they can do that with. Like imagine like Sony trying to stream for 3 days about one game.
No way.
It's like, well, so we're just gonna watch all of that game
Days
4 times, like 5 times. Like Nintendo Breath of the Wild, I think they showed so much, and yet
not much.
There was
It
like
didn't even
so
scratch the
much more.
surface.
Yeah, like after the game came out. And Mario Odyssey is
It's the new Mario 64,
probably
which I'm
like
super
that.
excited
Yeah,
about.
it's just like tons and tons of content. So if they have a game like that next year, I think they will like stick to the format.
I mean, it's worked so far, so it doesn't make sense for them to change it up.
What I hope it's not though is I hope it's not Pokemon
Switch.
because I don't want them to ruin the mystery. Also, because I'm worried that Pokemon Switch is just going to be Pokemon Stars, and I kind of don't want to update or re-release. I kind of just want like a new Pokemon game. So,
But what if it is a new Pokemon game RPG?
well, then I'm okay with that. But
See, I don't think they could do it with the Pokemon game. I think they would have to, like, the next one would have to be significantly changed up for them to do it.
no, they
Because-
can do it because I mean, there's so
Think
many.
so?
Because there's so many mechanics. Well, I mean, this because I mean there's so many mechanics they can show off. Like they can, and since it's now going to be a home console version, technically it's like they can re-add like things that they have taken out before because the handheld couldn't really handle it. So they can bring back like the Pokemon contest, or like even add some of the stuff that's been added to the anime and everything, and kind of just expand upon it, and then like do like the battle royale battles and other stuff. It's like there's plenty of stuff they could show off, and then still be like, hey, buy this because it's a Pokemon RPG. So now you could do all these things when you're raising your Pokemon, and then they can just introduce all these other little side things, like you making your Pokeblocks to feed your Pokemon, and all these intricate things. It's like, look what we can do now because we have so many memory, and then everybody will be like, yay, and then it's just gonna be insane pants.
I think they
But
could do it too.
like I said,
Oh,
I don't want it to be a Pokemon game though, because I kind of just want them to keep the intrigue there of what they're going to do next for the next game.
I guess I don't know what Pokemon games are like then. Because to me, aren't Pokemon games basically
No,
RPGs where you raise monsters though? And like for me, like RPGs are story padded out with RPG style combat, right?
used to be the case with Pokemon, but it's not anymore. Like I said, there's so much more now, and now you have Pokemon contest and all that other stuff that can happen. And you can groom them and make them pretty, and customize their Pokeballs and all these other things. Now it's like everything. It can be all of the things. All of the things. I love you, Pokemon. Never change, because Monster Rancher's gone, so you're all I have left. You're all I have left. No pressure. Some pressure.
but yeah, I was gonna say I think they could do it because even though Breath of the Wild was for the most part returned to form, I mean it was like it's like the older Zelda's, like the first one on Nintendo Entertainment System, but it was like with the modern graphic style and like very open world and very like a lot there to explore. It's like that one's like a kind of change from the formula of like what they've been doing as far as like they have a formula for it. They like made it like a throwback to the original, but you have whereas like lately before that they had just had like you go to the temples, you get the pieces, you get the thingies, fight the bosses, blah blah, then you
Triforce,
blah blah, Triforce, yeah, blah blah blah. I guess with story to pad out and stuff. And then like with Mario, it's like it's the opposite where it is basically just the mechanics and the but there's gonna be like a lot to like, explore there as far as like where you're going and what you're doing. So it's like they can scratch the surface with those because there's just like so much there as far as like what you're gonna be doing. I mean, what you're gonna be doing like is the mechanics. They can show those off and be like, okay, we can like triple jump, double jump, blah blah. There you hat, everything's a hat, blah blah.
everything's a hat.
But they
Yes.
like they can like
We're
give like
all
a vertical
hats.
slice in like a stage or something, and then like you can take the mechanics and just like go wild with it, and they'll be like, oh okay, but there's way more in here. This is just like one stage, and that's just like whoa, can't wait. And then I think it works with Pokemon because I mean mechanically it's like even though mechanically it's like if the battles themselves like are not that super crazy besides the type of Pokemon and like the type of attacks, like there's still stuff to do in there besides fight Pokemon like RPG said, so they can still do that and then showcase all those mechanics and then just show like maybe like a small blip of the world or whatever region they're in that Pokemon. They'll be like, okay, well here's a little place to go and go in the tall grass and find some Pokemon, catch a Pokemon, fight some Pokemon, do whatever, and then just like show all those mechanics at that year's E3. But then, like there's still like just like whatever's in the world of the game, like you haven't seen all that. It's like there's like that's like what maybe like 5% of like what you've seen, like they only show 5%. Yeah, like they only show 5%, but like 95% you like have no idea about. So it's like you still can get it and be like blown away, but like, oh man, there's like a volcano region, or not region, but like a volcano area. Or, I mean, you know how Pokemon is. It's like there's tons of different places in the different regions that you go to catch Pokemon, and then like based on the region,
There
like,
are usually volcanoes, by the way.
and then based on the region is like where like what type of Pokemon are, and then like if there's water nearby, you're the water Pokemon, or sand, there's sand Pokemon. Yeah, you get it. Or bug type
So-
of the forest and whatever.
if it turns out to be a sort of typical Pokemon game, but on a home console, would that be enough content for an entire E3 show? Or does it have to be sort of this like greatly expanded Pokemon type game?
I mean, they don't have to. It doesn't necessarily have to have enough content. I mean, when they showed Breath of the Wild, it wasn't like a matter of content, because I mean, at the base of it, the gameplay is pretty much the same for the most part. But it's like you're basically just getting. They're just basically just have you wandering around for 20 hours, just looking at open grass and like, hey, look at this fire we can build, and stuff like that. It wasn't like they were like playing through the entire game actually. So.
And it still doesn't.
Right, but like even if it's just like mechanics showcases,
Yeah, they would have a lot more. Like the Switch would have a lot more
like a
power
typical
than the.
Pokemon, but so a hypothetical, much better expanded Pokemon game would have enough content,
Yes,
but a typical Pokemon game would not.
it might still would, depending on. Because I mean, like I said, like the more recent ones have had like more things to them than back in the red blue days, where it's just like catch your Pokemon, go gym to gym, and then you
I didn't
beat the
even
Elite Four.
play, I think it was XY or whatever, the one that had like the shiny mechanic or whatever, how that works. Of like there's like specific Pokemon that you can only get like on that cartridge or whatever. So they've like added a bunch of stuff. And like and then they like do something with like the new legendary types that's like they're not as
Legendary.
common. They're like super like rare or something. Or more
There's
rare.
only one each.
Or I think I'm like talking about the wrong thing. I mean, there's like a evolution of like the Pokemon where it's like the fourth form, and it's like you have to do something specific or something weird. I don't know. Whatever. I haven't played since Diamond and Pearl, so I'm very behind. But I think they would have like enough just because. I mean, well, honestly, I wouldn't really care about a Pokemon game anyway because like I said, I haven't played since Diamond and Pearl. But like, to me, it's like. What they're like, I think one of their things that they're doing with their strategy is just like they're trying to like focus on a specific game and then give it all the signal boosting that they can by showcasing it at E3. So it's like it cuts through the noise of having, like a Sony with like a Detroit, a God of War, a Days Gone, or however many other games. It's like you just have like the one game and like just give it all the spotlight, and then people will be super pumped to play that game, and then it's like I guess like until it doesn't work. I think that's just like the strategy that they're going to stick with, and then they have like a game that is like kind of just like you had Breath of the Wild and you had Mario, and then you had Mario and you had well, I guess there wasn't really a B game this year, so Mario was like the main game, but how did that
There was ARMS.
They like announced a few other things and did a tournament for part of their stream.
Okay.
Or like 3 tournaments for part of their stream.
Because in my brain, for some reason, I'm thinking like when they showed Breath of the Wild, they were also like talking about Odyssey, but I don't think they were. I think they just like showed it at the same thingy. So I guess like that's like another thing that they can do is like have like that game for that year, but then like there's also like another big game that you're going to be looking forward to. So it's like with Breath of the Wild, it was Mario. And with Mario, they said the thing about the Pokemon game was they didn't show it, but there was also Metroid Prime. So then my theory for next year is like the big game is going to be Pokemon, but then they're also going to show Metroid Prime because the next year will be 2018, and then 2019 will be Metroid year. Hopefully, that's just from a fan's perspective, if I'd like to be playing Metroid Prime with them. And then like,
Although it's possible that by that time, though, they'll have more games on their plate, so they won't really do the. Because I think the thing with Breath of the Wild was like the reason why it happened the way it did is because that was like the only game at the time.
At the time,
it's like
that was
there wasn't really. They didn't have their Splatoon 2 and then Mario Odyssey and then ARMS taking off the way it did, and then it's like now they have all these other things on the horizon for 2018. So it's like they might not. I think the only reason why they did it the way it is because like they were kind of banking everything on Zelda.
Well, that's like my other question was going to be was like if they keep up this pace, which even though it's like they're delivering the heavy hitters, like, is it going to still leave people like myself who like an RPG who have like yet to pick up a Switch still apprehensive because it's like, yeah, they have the awesome first party games, but like, where's the third party stuff? Even though they have the XCOM Rabbids Mario game that looks cool, it's like there's still like a lukewarm response from third parties to show some cool stuff that's not on any other platform outside of
I think I think it's gonna. I think that'll change with the Switch. I mean, simply because it seems like I think like once Mario Odyssey happens, even though Breath of the Wild was as successful as it was, I think with Mario, it's more of a Mario's always been more like, to me, it's always been more of like their really showcase game for them. So it's like anytime for any of the consoles that it shows up on, it's like it does something weird with like whatever, like with Galaxy for the Wii, or I don't know what it was for the Wii U because I don't know if there was a Mario game, but with the one for
It was 3D Land with the cat suit, but that was
the Wii
3D
U
Land.
game.
I don't think that was really a
yeah, it didn't seem like it was built for
Mario
the
game in
it
that.
seemed like it was more of the 3D
Yeah.
DS
Yeah.
game ported.
I think they
But like with Sunshine with the GameCube, because like even though people were just kind of like, oh my god, why is Sunshine a thing? It was still like it was different, and it kind of like, if you got a GameCube, it's very likely that you got Sunshine, because you know it's Mario, and it does weird things with Mario and the GameCube and stuff. So it's like, this is an interesting concept. I think Mario has always been like let's do something crazy and really show off what we can do with our console kind of situation. And then I think once Odyssey happens, and I think it's going to be very successful, it's probably going to bring a lot of developers to the table, and they're like, you know what, we're in. And then we're gonna see we'll see a lot more traditional E3 style conferences. Well, not conferences. They'll still be doing their directs, I think, from this point. But it'll just be like, you'll see more games in their tree houses and stuff. It won't just be like the one anchor game, and then everything's focused around that, and the other games are kind of just there just in case, kind of thing. So.
Yeah, 'cause it seems like their big games, whatever those are like the headliners, and like they still have like their Nintendo Directs, but like the stuff in them isn't as big of a draw compared to like what the heavy hitters are that they show like the full days of E3. 'Cause you still had like at this Direct they showed like the Kirby game, the Yoshi game,
Kirby!
and anything else I'm forgetting because it's like, you know, I'm kind of like whatever Nintendo, so sorry for that, but it ain't no Mario in any of those Zeldas. I'm just saying. I mean,
Samus
Mario's a thing,
Returns.
but 3DS Tropical. We're talking about the Switch.
Oh, for Switch things.
Because I honestly think that the Switch will outsell easily the Xbox Extreme, so we'll be seeing maybe.
Well,
some
yeah.
I mean, at least for the first time in a very long while, like dedicated third-party support on the platform, especially if stuff like Skyrim and is that the only really big AAA game that's been moved to Switch?
I think so
Okay,
far.
well, if Skyrim does good, and then like, you know, if they get some more stuff that does good from third parties, like we could see some momentum there. But I'm a bit apprehensive just because like it's still too early on. It's still the first year, and like I'm very interested to see like how the numbers for Skyrim do, since all the fans are like, every time a game's announced, is it on the Switch? Is it on the Switch? Is it on the Switch? It's like, dude, please chill the f out, because you're kind of grinding my gears right now with that. It's like, it's weird. It's kind of weird because like I'm looking at something that is like myself. Of like, I used to be that person. I used to be that Nintendo fanboy. Oh my gosh, it's so weird. It's so weird. This is what my life
I think
is.
it's kind of. Yeah, I don't really. Well, I mean, I guess we're not into the whole Elder Scrolls thing.
Yeah,
But it feels like, and this is off topic too, it's just like, I don't think just having third-party games appear on Switch is enough. Like, they need to be
Yeah, I think they need to be like Bayonetta 2
third-party
levels
games,
of,
yeah,
like-
that are like Bayonetta 2 was just kind of like, why is this only on Switch? It's like, well, no one else wanted it, so that's why we paid the money. And it just feels like their problem with third parties in the past few years has just been, when the third parties come, it's not like efforts. It's just like, oh yeah, and Madden is on on GameCube.
See, I think the thing with the Switch though is like what makes it such a good platform is like it has like built-in. It has built-in like better
Uniqueness
yeah
stuff.
better, like better stuff because you can play it anywhere. You can like play it at home or on the go. It's like it gives you the automatic, even though it's not technically a handheld version of the game.
Yeah, I don't know if I own one, and like I don't know that that's enough for me. Because it's like,
I think it's just the whole. I don't think everything. My issue is just like it turning into just like a port system. Like I don't want it to do that because
and
then
inferior
it's like,
ports, no less.
yeah. Because I was just about to say because they would be weaker than the current gen console versions if you like just port more. So it's just like it's like it just wouldn't be a good use of the Switch basically because it's like, well, why bother if I could just play these games on the consoles I already have, which are more powerful? And it's like, yeah, I can take it anywhere, but it's like, what's the point? So
yeah, like if more things like the Rabbids and Mario thing happen, like that's the kind of third-party support that you want.
yeah, because that's like new and interesting stuff. I mean, even though the gameplay itself is similar to a game that already exists, it's like the property itself. It's like things. If people think outside of the box, like it's like, well, what else can we combine? It's like, I mean, we can do all kinds of crazy stuff, can't we? And then people are like, yeah, let's do it. And then we'll get some weird Switch game that actually uses the Switch functionality as part of the mechanics or something. Which I don't. Is that possible? Can that be a thing? Because I mean, I know with like the 3 or was it the 3DS or with the DS or whatever, it's like some developers like actually use the fact that it was a double screen to like do things with it and everything, or like even like when like with Phantom Hourglass, they even had it where you had to actually like close the game in order to actually solve puzzles and stuff and like do different things. Just like cool stuff like that. It's like that's what I want. Like since Nintendo's going out of their way to do these things with their consoles, it's like I want people to actually be doing these things with their consoles, not just porting stuff just for the sake of saying, hey, we have third-party support. So it's like I want them to actually be getting stuff that's cool for their console, not just having it for the sake of having it. Because like, yeah, I can play Skyrim on anything now because it's on anything. So it's like I don't care that they put it on the Switch. It's like I don't understand why people are always like, oh yeah, make this come to Switch. It's like, no, just let people do their own thing for the Switch. Don't just port crap. So yeah,
exactly.
Did
like,
oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say like GameCube had third-party support in the way that's like the typical third-party support, and yet, you know, it was not.
People said it was not a great console, and I was just like, hey, there's some cool things on the GameCube. Maybe you should STFU, and yeah, play the cool stuff. So, because still one of my favorite games is like Crystal Chronicles, which I don't care how people feel about side games of Final Fantasies. It was an interesting. It was a very interesting concept, especially since they were just like hook all your Game Boy Advance. Because I mean, the Game Boy Advance is relatively popular enough for like everyone to have one anyway. So just like hook these things up.
I wonder if they could ever bring back
I had
those
4.
concepts.
I just about to say I had like 2 of them. So I was like,
where like any of the games that use like multiple handhelds like back onto the Switch, since that's like a thing with like multiple thingies.
You heard, right? Like Pac-Man Versus is coming out on Switch, but it requires 2 Switches.
How does that work? Do they connect like that?
Yeah,
right, the LAN party thing
to each other.
Yeah, I about that. But yeah, stuff like that would work. Yes. Yes. Oh yes. This can be a thing. So I need a new Crystal Chronicles now. But yeah, it's like I want to see that kind of stuff. Like I'm so tired of Skyrim and Bethesda in general, but definitely Skyrim.
I mean, I think I'm going to end up with Skyrim VR because I think that's sort of neat and significantly different enough. But yeah, like Switch Skyrim is like so I can play it anywhere, but why? I have
like-
it and I barely play it at home.
It's true. I don't really play it now, so it's like that won't really.
Yeah, there was that story like a while back where it said like Nintendo had issues with like the HD development on games and stuff. Did they ever resolve that, or was there ever like a follow up to that?
No, I think it was just
Because it took them forever to get like an HD console.
Yeah.
So they didn't have experience. But it seems like with their output now, with like a Mario game or like a Zelda game, then a Mario game, and like Kirby Yoshi, yada yada yada. I think they are hitting their stride with that. So I think that shouldn't be an issue going forward. So, I mean, at least on first party, it seems like they have their software set up to where they can like have a good game. Like they're not going to have like the droughts. It seems like to me, like from like what I've like seen, like even though it's been like 2 years, like it seems like the drought of the Wii. I'm kind of gonna like give them the benefit of the chance here of like they're it seems like they have their stuff set in motion to like just be able to like turn stuff out as far as first party goes, because ARMS and Zelda and Mario and Yoshi Kirby, so it's like that's like at least 5 games, so that's pretty good production from a first party standpoint. I mean, that's like 6 out of 12 months, so it's like a game every other month. So
I forget what it was that I saw exactly, but it felt like there was sort of more of a plan. Like before, it really was they had their giant tentpole titles, and then all the rest of the time was like, well, you're on your own. And they just they kind of just let droughts happen.
yeah, it seems like now that they're just after the Wii U, dude, like they have to fight for it, and it seems like they're fighting. So it's like I kind of like Nintendo in this spot because they are like really going for it. And you can just like see from the stuff they're putting out. So I'm slowly warming up to getting one, but I have yet to get one. So hopefully by the time after Prime 4 comes out, a couple of these E3s have gone and passed, and they'll have like that's like 2 per show. So plenty of big games out there for me to latch on to and get happy about.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to end up with one by next year probably, because if provided the 2 games I'm hoping for do get released in 2018, then I'd have a reason to have one. But we'll have to see how that goes.
Yeah, like now
based on development times.
Yeah, now the thing that just gives me pause is like third-party support, because it's like even though Nintendo has like this whole system down of like they can have like one awesome game a year, pretty much, or like if that's their plan, or like even have like the one awesome game and like all these side games. It looks like if they're gonna just expand upon what they have and just just be like, fire everything, and then just like put out all the games, that'd be great. But yeah, beyond that, third-party support would be nice. But I mean, if their output's good enough, I guess it won't really matter because my PS4 is my main console right now, so that would be a good combination of having a Switch on the side and PS4 is my main. So, but like RPG said, the cool things you could do with the hardware would be nice. ...
So do you also think that their 2018 game is Pokemon?
Yeah. 2018 Pokemon, 2019 Metroid. Calling it right now. I mean, they could just go out of left field and be like, we got a Donkey Kong game. Didn't know about that because we didn't tell you. Or Nintendo will in secret all the time because, we never know what they're doing. It could be anything tropical.
I feel like Metroid is next year. Based off of nothing. Like, just a hunch.
Because, yeah, it's like, that's the cool thing. Is like, I mean, that's the thing that makes me wonder, though, is because, like, you have Mario Kart 8, but that's just, like, a remaster or whatever. So it's like, are they working on, like, a new Mario Kart? It's like, and we know they're working on Smash Brothers and, like, all these other games. It's like they have, like, one for platform since GameCube of, like, that stuff. So it's like, Animal Crossing? Yeah. It's like, what could it be? Fire Emblem? Yeah, they put out a ton of those on 3DS. Like, I'm sure they've got. Like,
well, they already announced Fire Emblem.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. So it could be anything. Who knows? But yeah, first party apparently is firing on all cylinders. At least, unlike Microsoft, shots fired. Don't have to worry about the first party output from Nintendo, which is pretty ironic and funny. But I guess it makes sense because unlike Microsoft, they didn't just go through and decimate all their studios. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, they're also they're a lot less likely to cancel all their games too. So there's that.
It's sort of crazy. Like Mario Rabbids it's been in development for years, and we just found out about it really a month ago.
This is super weird. Yeah, it's like even though like they're not power at the same level, it's like they have like the reverse problem as like Xbox has like no first party. Nintendo's first party is like doing pretty awesome, but then the third party is like by default going to 360 because Xbox X Stream because they put it on like both PS4 and Xbox. But then like developers are hesitant to put it on Switch. But that'll be interesting to see like if like as the install base grows that changes. But then even if they do that, like will they do anything interesting with the hardware? So I guess it's just a wait and see right now since we're not even like a year into the Switch. So man, a year from now we need to revisit this. Especially if I'm right about the what's their E3 game? Because did you guys say what yours were? Because mine is let's see, Pokemon and Metroid. So that's my pick. Because it seems like when they showed Mario and Zelda, like those were known quantities, and we like knew they were working on them. So
Pikmin.
RPG with his dream games. Pikmin and what?
Pikmin.
What was your choices, Tropical?
I think Metroid 2018. And then
Pokemon? Or
see, I don't think Pokemon has enough content for that show. It would be Pokemon and something else.
But Tropical, Pokemon Go set the world on fire. It had like over 500,000 downloads or something crazy.
Yeah, but even Pokemon Go, like, you couldn't show Pokemon Go for 3 days.
That's what you think.
You'd be surprised.
I mean, I didn't think they could show
played
Breath of the Wild
Pokemon
for
Go
like 3 days either, and then like I sat like for a couple hours and I was like, I'm done. I'm gonna watch.
See, like, that's the crazy thing. Like, their new games have enough content to allow them to make these crazy streams.
They weren't really showing anything though. Like I said, it was just like the same stuff of you just running around, and then they showed a temple or two, but it's like for the most part it wasn't like content really. It was just like them running around for hours on end, and people just there's obviously stuff to do because they just been running in this field for 4 hours, so yay.
And the fans ate it up both times, which is why I'm like, dude, Pokemon, like.
At least with Pokemon, you can actually show
stuff. There's been like a slow burn on mobile of just like, and then like if they can like just magically like up their production of consoles on the Switch and like just pump those out, it's a match made in heaven. Of like, well, you've been playing it on mobile for however many years. Well, now you can play the real deal on the Switch, or maybe there's like some sort of interconnectivity or some like amiibo support or something that's like, ooh. And you can use it on your phone or something. I don't know. That sneaky Nintendo. We always know that they're doing something like the Mario thing. It's like, oh, are they gonna do the Mario? And Tropical was right. They did some weird thing that we didn't see coming with the Mario mechanics. He throws his hat, and it becomes the thing. It's like, yep.
And then the person dies. As Mario displaces their soul.
Lost forever.
The darkest Mario game to date. Mario Odyssey, where you become a mass murdering plumber.
It was really funny. They like sent out clarifications like, no, Mario is not possessing them. He's capturing them.
Doesn't make it better. Doesn't make it better. Because Mario's still destroying souls, man.
Yeah, it seemed like Metroid was further along. I don't know. That's the feeling I got. Pokemon did not even have a logo. It was just like,
that's true.
Hey, we're working on Pokemon. It's like, we've heard this before from you guys.
I don't know, dude. It seemed like didn't they say that it's not coming? Like they said like a year from now though when they showed it. So that means a year from that, which is at E3 again. So, boom, there you go. But with like the Metroid theme, it seems like it's just farther off because there's nothing to show.
Because they didn't show anything. They kind of just like, well, just so you know, it exists. So please be excited.
Wait, did they show Mario Odyssey when they showed Breath of the Wild at E3? Because I think my memory might be wrong. Because I remember being hyped for that, but then I'm not sure was it the same time as Breath of the Wild or when. Oh well, whatever.
No, I think it was announced like much later because. Nothing, like I said, at the time, Breath of the Wild was pretty much the only thing that was happening.
So it could be anything then, because I guess they've only had the one game. Oh well, we'll see. Man, it could be. Man, that's crazy. All right.
Infinite possibilities outstretched in front of Nintendo.
Pokemon
What?
Infinite. Yes, I love it. I'm all about it.
It's been a long while, Nintendo.
Haha, get it? Because Final Fantasy 15 reference.
I gotta say, like, Nintendo, it's a company that everyone loves and stuff, and, you know, so much goodwill, and yet they're kind of dicks sometimes.
Oh my.
The NES Classic thing is just terrible.
Have you seen the stories about the Super NES and like the scalping?
Yeah,
That is, yeah, pretty bad.
it is gonna be nuts. It's just like, NES was one of the most popular consoles we ever made. How many did we sell? I don't know. Actually. 150 million? Not that many. I meant like 50 million. So for this re-release, everyone's gonna want one. Let's just make less than 3 million. I'm sure it'll be fine.
It's true because they're already like planning on short stocking it.
It's like amiibos. We're just making these little collectible figurines that are, you know, some of the most beloved characters of all time. So yeah, let's just make a few of them. I don't know if people are gonna buy them. It's like, are you?
Oh man, Tropical, I just thought of something. Like, what if
Miyamoto evil laugh here.
we have like completely become detached in like the year of dreams, and it like bleeds over into Nintendo, and like every year after this year they have like more than one game, and it's like the awesome, like the good stuff, like not just like ARMS.
So you're saying they're gonna become, or they're gonna follow the Marvel Cinematic Universe release schedule?
I'm just saying that they're
It was one a year for 2 years, and then 2 a year, and then 3 a year. It's begun.
sure,
And they're just
Tropical.
gonna release like 40 of them. It's
I mean,
like, it's
I was
fine,
just
just take
gonna
all of the
I was just
games.
gonna use like the PlayStation example of like where they have like so many games like coming out of their hair of like, oh man, look how amazing this stuff is, and it's coming out soon, and it's like, man, isn't it a great time to be having this hardware to play with? And it's like Nintendo's like, we can do the same thing. We have more than one game to show this year, D3, and we're gonna show it all day on stream too, but not just one, but 2, and then next year not just 2 but 3, and then like they peak because, you know, Year of Dreams was like the best, and then and the next one wasn't that great, but hey, whatever. So, you know, they'll like have like a three game a year thing. They'll you know, they're starting slow now, and like they have 1, and then like 2 next year, and then 3 after that. It's like, it'll be great. And then yeah, I'm sure the third one, when 3 of them, it's gonna be like Smash Brothers, Donkey Kong, because people are just like cannot stop talking about Jungle Breeze or whatever that one was, because it's just like so amazing from what I've heard.
Tropical Freeze or
Tropical
something.
Freeze, that one.
Jungle Freeze.
So it's like, so yeah, it's like Smash Brothers, Jungle Freeze, Tropical Freeze, whatever I just said. That was wrong.
Whatever it's called. The one that sounds like a drink.
That
That one.
Those 2 and Mario Kart Switch. Ooh, that'd be a good year. Man, I'm already like getting myself pumped for 2019. Would that be 18, 19?
I think Smash Bros.
Year.
Might actually be the next big one.
The year of 2 Nintendo games.
Yeah, because it seems like every one that they've had so far has been like heavy hitter, like punch you in the face from Nintendo game, like Zelda, new Mario. So it's like, what else has like that caliber of like punch to the face? New Smash Brothers, new Mario Kart. Can't wait.
They should. I would like them to re-release more, like, complete versions of Wii U games on the Switch.
I would like that too, because not a lot of people got a Wii U.
Yeah.
So and
like-
because I would like to play those games without owning a Wii U, i.e., even the third party stuff like Bayonetta 1 and 2, because, you know, yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
And the Star Fox game that I was dreaming for and didn't buy. Nintendo's fault, not mine. They put on the console that,
Yeah,
you know,
in the case of those, I would actually be okay with that. Because, like, I wanted Pikmin, but, you know, not buying a Wii U for Pikmin.
Oh, that's right. RPG. You never got that Pikmin game that you always wanted. That is
I
sad.
know.
So sad. Pour one out. Okie dokie. Well, that was our middle segment about looking into our crystal ball and telling the future if we're E3 in the future, what will it bring? Prophesizing, or whatever that word is. And now we've got at least one news story from Topical.
Yes. This was a weird one. And it's the only thing I remember reading this week. So, Anthem, right? The new game coming from EA and BioWare.
Mm-hmm.
It was showcased on Xbox One, or they said it was on Xbox One X. And I guess people took that to mean this is the game showing what Xbox One X can do. And that's significant because it was discovered that the Anthem gameplay footage that was up on the PlayStation YouTube channel was the same footage that we saw at E3 at Microsoft press conference with like photoshopped different button displays on. So they had just like overlaid PlayStation buttons on top of it. And yeah, it was like a big deal because apparently people think like it's not going to look that good on PlayStation 4. These guys stole that footage to make it look good on PlayStation and blah blah blah. It's like it's not. Well, I mean, I don't know. It's been pulled from their YouTube page. But yeah, I was like, that is a thing that happened. Was there other news this week?
Apparently Assassin's Creed is the next animated show from Castlevania producer for the Netflix.
Wow.
Now I can be bored while I watch instead of actually playing a game. Exciting.
There could be more Crash Bandicoot games following the UK Cell Success. I don't know what that means because I haven't read the article.
Was the the Super Nintendo Classic, was that last week or did that happen before?
That was last week.
No, that was we talked about that last week.
No Chrono Trigger or ActRaiser. Just saying. What's up with that Nintendo? I mean, I have them on Virtual Console and DS, but.
And you already have Chrono Trigger on like 20 different consoles already.
It's
what do you?
One of the best games ever, RPG. It needs to be preserved so future generations can play and experience it and its awesomeness. Duh. Jeez.
Yes, but just saying.
Yeah, they added a bunch of stuff to Pokemon Go, but I don't play that crap, so it's whatever. I mean, there's like supposedly an air quote raid in the game now, so that's the thing. Summer Games Done Quick is happening right now on Twitch, I believe. That's a thing.
I love Summer Games Done Quick. I have no idea what that is.
There will be a Splatoon 2 Nintendo Direct tomorrow, apparently.
Alright, because it's getting released soon.
Oh, StarCraft Remastered, coming out in August.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Got a release date.
Apparently people are worried about Battlefront 2 being pay to win. I haven't looked into it. Oh, and tomorrow, I think, I don't know if they're going to reveal it, but there was a platinum difficulty in Mass Effect Andromeda, and, like, is it Batarian in the video? So we're like, what the F is this? Is it a new character?
Oh, yeah.
New faction to fight? Yeah, answers will be given tomorrow with the patch notes update.
Also, we don't know what, they haven't said what it is yet.
Nope. Apparently, Sega and Atlas talked together about bringing games to Steam, so maybe some of those games hitting Steam, just like the what was that game, Vanquish and Bayonetta ports. Also, Bayonetta, there's like possible coming, like it might be being teased as coming to Switch because there's some weird stuff shown on social media. People are like, oh, what's this? Does it mean it's coming to Switch? Is it coming to Switch? Is it coming to Switch? Is it coming to Switch?
Basically,
favorite
yes.
Question from the internet this year. Well, one of the favorite questions. Switch fans, they're the worst.
In all fairness, after the dry spell, that was the Wii U. I mean,
Nah, they want assurances all the time.
basically, it's like it's kind of like you have to be constantly reassured. It's like, yes, you're still pretty. It's fine. but you can never be too sure. You can never be too sure.
Ah, okay, so yeah, there might be... Okay, well, Activision CEO Eric Hirschberg was hinting that there might be future plans for Crash Bandicoot, but, it's Activision, they only like money. So if the game's not going to make money,
Money, my dear boy.
don't get your hopes up about that one. Oh, there was this Nintendo shareholders meeting thing. I saw this, and they said something about they are thinking about making some anime based on some of their properties, like Star Fox. One of them. What were the other ones? I read this. Yeah, it was like Star Fox, and I don't know. I saw Star Fox. That was one that got me excited. There's some other ones, but yeah. Oh, Kirby's another one.
Kirby,
That's
Kirby,
already, I think,
Kirby.
out. Yeah, Star Fox, Yoshi, Pikmin. They're like, maybe, but they didn't say anything concrete, so it's like, don't get your hopes up, but that would be super awesome, because, man, Star Fox anime, I would watch the crap out of that, with, Fox and Team, with Adventures, Daily. Oh, so dreamy, I can only hope. Anything else? World of Warcraft, Man, I don't know what this stuff is as far as when it was on here, so yeah. Did we talk about the PlayStation Plus lineup last week? We did, right?
Yep.
Okay, so
I mean, it's already out now, so.
I'm just saying.
Now it's olds.
Apparently Nintendo Switch has sold them in units in Japan, and at a faster pace than PS4, so let the games begin.
Oh yeah, I saw a thing that for the first time in years, the Japanese game industry or console market grew.
I think we'll leave it at that. Phantom Dust also hit 1 million players on Xbox Extreme, but it was free, so it didn't really matter. So yeah, free game. I mean, I'm sure it's gonna get a ton of downloads.
I was just about to say, I download stuff that I don't play all the time, so it's not.
And there's a headline about Sonic Mania could affect the direction of future Sonic games, but I haven't read the article, so maybe it sells a ton, and then we get awesome 2D Sonic games, and not these abominations of, not counting Generations. I'm not saying anything before Generations that was 3D was bad. I'm just saying,
That's exactly what you're saying.
that was Sonic Team's one in 100 years. They had to eventually put one out that was awesome. That was good recently. And hopefully not have it be another Sonic Adventure before the Werehog incident terribleness. So quality, hopefully. I guess we'll see. Or not. So yeah. I'm trying to find this thing about Netflix to see if there's any dates on this. Oh wait, nope. Nothing about the date on the Assassin's Creed anime.
Oh no, I have to wait even longer to be bored.
And that's
Castlevania isn't even out yet. That comes out this month. Pretty soon, I think.
The only thing that's important about Netflix is that Defenders is next month. Anything else can GTFO.
what RPG?
I guess that's... Yeah, I'm glad that's coming out next month.
Okay, so yeah. That's it for this episode of Aimless Babble Z. Check us out on the internet, aimlesspodcast.com, Google us, we're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, some other stuff out there maybe, I don't know. You'll find us if you look good enough. Yeah. Anything to say before we sign off, RPG?
No.
Anything to say before we sign off, Tropical?
I think I'm good.
Alright, well, get to playing Walking Dead so you can make your Clementine awesome like mine. And
Mine.
until you see her from us again, Aimless Babble Z, and we're now signing off.